which we welcome all, talking shit, spitballing and busting your balls. We all love Star Wars, the uniting cause, but as long as you love Lego, it ain't breaking no laws. We got guests, clock talking random topics, leaps, rumors, hot takes like psychotropics, lane breakers, and of course all the latest gossip. What's your wish list? What's it gonna take to cop? Let's do a roll call of our illustrious host, hailing stateside in UK, coast to coast. Padawan the Don shuffles in, packing the cake, all stiff for us, stiff while he making it shake. Most vengeance here to send us back to 99. Oaktown, always down, letting love light shine. Hailing from the Emerald Isle comes Slurpy ho-ho, pot of gold at the rainbow, stop motion maestro. West Country Whittakee, thespian by night. Monkey bucks the boys try to guess it right. Cool harm with the plan, talks the head of the pay. Cyril and Biff, Welsh Dragon, see you all at the rank. So wrap this up and quick, let's get the show started. Comments in the chat, even replay gets harder. Make yourself known so we can shout you all out. Cool hang loop, check it out, come see what it's about. Cool hang low, cool hang low. We about to blast off like we dropping a note. Cool hang low, cool hang low. Rock your head to these beats like you a surf dude. Cool hang low, cool hang low. We about to blast off like we dropping a note. Cool hang low, cool hang low.
That's enough of that, I think.
Do the job.
Okay. So before anybody says anything about us being fashionably late, as per
Early
usual.
today.
Yeah, I was going to say it's early in comparison. But it's fine because we've already been told off by our own guest.
I know.
But yeah, it's just I think that Mayo does fit into the category of like YouTube referee. But I love a bit of it. I love a bit of it. It's like the classic catfish, you know, not in the sense of, you know, catfishing on Facebook, that kind of thing. But catfish is in fishermen put a catfish in with their fish once they've caught them to try and keep everybody's blood pumping and stop the fish from sort of keeling over and dying, right? So that's why the hell can't anybody ever bought these batteries? These kind of batteries,
for watches and all that crap, you have to pop them out like they're tablets.
I can't get it out. I can't get it out.
Honestly, you have to put the almighty force of both thumbs and push them out like you're getting ibuprofen out or something like that, you know?
Because I got these new lights in the background. I don't know if you guys can see them. You can pretty much kind of see them there. But if I put my key light on too high, then it doesn't. So I got the thingy so I can change the color. And I got the battery, so I can't get the battery out of the packaging. Anyway, we'll get there. So, welcome everybody, episode 23, Cool Hang Luke. Got a couple of new things for you today to just kind of test, play about with, and see what's good. But yeah, we're joined today. We've got Padawan and Oaktown rolling in at some point later on. Padawan is running late. I won't tell you the reason why because it was kind of morbid. But but we've also got a guest in the house and a special shout out to the Wizard of Oz himself, Mayo Hosko, because it's 5:30 a.m. Is it 5:30? No, can't be 5:30. What's the time then, Mayo?
5:40 a.m.
Wait a minute, is the clock's not changed for you yet? Mayo.
No, because we are much closer to the equator.
Oh shit!
So therefore, we are a month. We're not early March. We're early April when we come out of daylight saving.
We're the last weekend of March.
Yeah, ours is another 2 weeks, isn't it? But I think there's some people out there who didn't, especially in America, that didn't realize that it was different because the amount of posts I saw where people were like, everybody make sure they set their clocks back tonight. I'm like, except for me. And they're like, no, it's the same everywhere. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, 5:40 in the morning. And obviously I tried to get the guy to show his face, but I can understand if he's laying in bed. So a special shout out to Mayo. Thanks for joining us, Mayo. How are you feeling?
I feel like I'm running on fumes, only surviving on 1 hour's sleep within the past, 18 hours?
Oof, rip.
Oh Christ! Why is that then? What's been going on?
Well, it's because if I get just the right amount of nutrition in my body, I can go for a while.
Okay, so we'll get a chance to introduce yourself and obviously talk a little bit about yourself in a bit. But before we do that, we're gonna shout out the chat in a sec. I just want a little let everybody know.
Oh, there he's back.
What
The man himself.
What we've got coming up in the episodes, and obviously getting Whittakee back online eventually. Why the hell can't I open this thing now?
Mayo, this is your second time, I think, on the podcast. You were, I think, on during the final podcast we had in the 48-hour stream.
Yeah, I was. That's because, that's because Coolhan, Luke Bricks, and I became friends because I was offering him so much technical help doing all of that.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but let's do a light change. Oh, that was disappointing.
That's what happens when you're a 12-year elder statesman in the LEGO YouTube community.
Yeah, 12 years in the game, like.
I'll be 15, but I kind of dipped out for... I was focused on a very specific section for a long time.
Yeah, well, strictly speaking, I started my YouTube channel in 2019, 2018, 2019. Might even be earlier than that. No, 20, I don't know. But obviously I didn't do anything with it really, so... But yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
About to change.
Yeah. But anyway, right. So with
I rebooted my phone, so is it all right now?
Yes.
You sound good.
Your audio is much better than it was before.
Yeah, I completely. That's why I took the time. I rebooted it, turned it completely off, and yeah.
So guys, if anybody out there watching doesn't know what goes on, if you think we're one of these streams where we connect up half an hour or an hour before and do mic checks and audio checks and organize everything, you got another thing coming. 10 minutes beforehand, I'm like, wait, I got somewhere to be. Bing! Pop
just
on.
raw dogging it. That's the way it works in this stream. Just
raw dog.
in and see what happens.
I have said from day one, though, and I've made all the viewers clear now that we are purposely trying to fit into that aesthetic of no aesthetic. But no, they're trying to fit into the aesthetic of it being kind of off the cuff, kind of blagging it. Because I am a blackhead by nature, so it's just one of those things where you just kind of. I remember when I did that speech. I was doing a speech for something. They asked me to go over to do like a business day for a high school after we'd had the documentary, and they said, "Can you come and do like a speech to young people about like getting involved in business at an early age, whatever?" And I was like, "Okay." And I thought I was just going to be speaking to them in small groups. It turns out they wanted me to do like a speech. So somebody was like, "Oh, have you prepared a speech?" I was like, "Nah, I'll just wing it." And I did, and it was amazing. And I did exactly the same for my brother's stag. So everybody was like, "Oh, what kind of speech?" I was like, "Nah, I'm just going to blag it." And then on the day, I had a piece of paper which I was reading off, and I did my speech. My brother filmed it, so what if I can get hold of it one day? I'll play it. And obviously, it was full of laughs. Everybody was creased up. It went down amazing. The bride's father came up to me and was like, "Oh, I was so nervous." He said, "You did such a good job of that. I can't believe, you've nailed it. And I can't believe you didn't prepare a speech or anything." He said, and I was like, "No, I just kind of went off the cuff, see what happened." But I was reading off a piece of paper. But everybody was like kind of sniggering and going, yeah, we knew he was going to end up doing a speech after everything he said. But at the end of the speech, I turned the piece of paper around and I literally just said the words "blag it" on it. So just to kind of throw people off. But yeah, so that's my style at the source of things. And I've always thought it's be like, come on, there's plenty of people out there who are hyper organized, hyper focused, super edited. Let's try and do something different. Let's have somebody that people can connect to more in terms of being disorganized and still trying to turf something out. So here we are.
What you ended up deciding to do is get a guest on that does try to be super organized.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah. And give us
Yeah.
all a lashing in the green room before
Yeah,
we
never
open.
been told off by guests before.
Yeah. Also,
this is
I
it.
know that there's the green room in New York and Hollywood studios. I'm pretty sure the StreamYard calls it the backstage.
We call it the green room, mate. Just because, why not? Because it's just something different, and we're rebellious.
We call it the. No, we're gonna call it the hostage room. You can't get out of there.
Honestly, since I try operate like a German train schedule, I challenge anyone to find anyone else in this community who is more anal than me.
Yeah, I think I can be. I think probably all of us are in certain facets. Like I'm quite anal about the thumbnail, for example. Like it has to be like, I'll spend hours on it. But then there's other things I won't. You know what I mean? So it can be a bit like, I just think it's different strokes with different folks in it. So
We do try and plan certain things. I mean, we've done banners and that for tonight, but it just sometimes just goes,
Tits up.
That's
kinda.
great.
yeah. I like to
start
set
talking about other things, or Martin goes on and can't get anything else in.
Yeah, I even put it in the lyrics.
I'm gonna keep this
Folks that
brief.
cut off a penny. But I think generally it is nice to have, like the way I always try and manage my stores is that they should run as well without you as with you. And I think that's what we've kind of done here. And everybody knows their place in terms of what they're setting up. So that if anything happened to anybody, the show goes on like, man, you know that better than anyone else. The show must go on.
It must, yes.
But anyway, are we going to shout out some chat?
Yeah, so just get the banner up. Find it. Okay.
The Ice Gang, the cool gang.
All right. Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning.
I know something about the icebox, Papa Rex. You probably don't know about it.
The Icebox? Oh, Ice Cold and Alex.
No, something that only a select few of us veterans know.
Okay, you'll have to fill us in on that later then.
Icebox.
I don't know what he's talking about. He's an enigma.
Is this to do with like Lego YouTube, or is it like?
Yes.
something- It is.
You ain't gonna get an answer out of him, mate. So don't even bother. Let's just carry on.
You related to Ice Cube?
No.
Right.
Oh, there's that green. Anyway, go on. Go for it, man.
Right, we'll start from the beginning then. So, evening to Ostiff. Well done, Ostiff. Nice to see you. We've got Papa
44
Rex.
comments.
Papa Rex in the
What the
house.
hell?
I know, I got a few. Nimble, one of our regulars, he'll be coming in later. He's just running a bit late. Evening, Shreddy. Deep voice. No, you weren't late, mate, but we were.
Bix.
Papa Rex, Ostiff. Ultra Bricks, evening. We've got Mayo, obviously, who's here. Number one fan, Muggsy.
Muggsy,
Good evening,
lad, love
Muggsy. General Tron Bricks, evening. We've got Legend Lego in the house. Awesome. Anyone else? Oh, we've got the Hive.
What's up, Hive?
Evening, Hive.
I've got good things to say
Loved your
about
stream
Hive.
today and Friday. Brilliant.
Yeah, shout
What
out.
else have we got? Anyone else we got? A lot of people still the same.
Mike is working, Shreddy. And a special shout out to Coop. First
We've got
comment.
Muttley. Always around, old Muttley. Well done.
Molly, no, sorry for my tardiness. We were late. Don't worry.
No.
Yeah.
Hi, Shreddy.
Shout out to Murley. We had a chat earlier. Did some technical
Right.
training with him.
That's up to date at the moment. We'll obviously say hello when people pop in, but that's all the cool gang in at the moment. So, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
44
What's
comments before
Nice.
we even started reading it out. That's good. That's pumping.
Yeah.
I like it.
General
I mean, it's
Tron,
mostly the
what
same.
is that?
Mostly the same 5 people saying the same things, but it's good. Still good. We love you all. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah, there's a lot of. But
It must be the Hosko himself. He draws the crowd. See, so it's good.
I wish. Where's my 1,000 subscribers then?
How far off are you, Mayo?
It's a yo-yo right now, 49.
Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to Mayo and you like streams about Lego, but they're also riddled with random facts and a little bit of craziness, sometimes you don't know whether you're at a Lego convention or you've taken to psychotropics on a crazy ward. But either way, you look after you, and it's entertaining, to say the least. So go over to Mayo Hosko and be a real whole egg and subscribe. Let's get into 1,000.
And
I'm
relevancy
almost-
is currency.
I'm almost at 1,000. I need another 752 subscribers.
well, I was quite happy the other day that I had 100 followers on my Instagram at last, and now it's gone down to 98. Like,
Yeah, I'm losing followers too, but it's like people that I would have went to school with. Since
I think
turned
it's a lot
my
of these
account-
bloggers you get on, the ones with the
Yeah.
half-dressed women, and they say you like, and then they go off.
Yeah,
Annoys
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
So we welcoming the guests now, or
Yeah, let's go for it. So this
Up
is
to
the
that,
part
there you
where
go.
This
What's
is
up,
the
Mayo?
part where I say, "Hi, Mayo. What's your name and where do you come from?"
Yeah, so I'm Mayo Hosko.
like who?
Wait, are we doing this?
Yeah, but I always say hello to people that come in because that'd be rude if I didn't.
Just pop it on the screen.
Yeah.
Go on, Mayo. Go the helm.
Okay. So I'm Mayo Hosko. I'm the only active Australian Lego YouTuber. I've been doing this for 12 years now, on again, off again. Took a big hiatus at the end of high school. I deleted all of my old videos because of copper. Then we found out that copper wasn't as bad as what we thought it was going to be, so I decided to give YouTube a try again, and I've literally grown my channel tenfold since I decided to come back. I prefer vintage Lego over over contemporary Lego because I inherited my brother's old Lego from the late 80s, early 90s, and I grew up with a lot of Lego YouTubers in the late 2000s, early 2010s who still had vintage Lego in their Lego city. So I've always been surrounded by vintage Lego one way or another. And I remember buying the 5th generation road base plates at a Lego Discovery Center, bringing it home and thinking to myself, wow, these aren't compatible with the 1st generation roads I have. I think I'm going to stick with what I know.
Okay. So how would you describe? So what? First of all, I got a question. What do you class as vintage?
So I have very specific guidelines, and in 50 years, it's all going to change because some people say that antiques are 100 years old. Other people say antiques are 50 years old. Some people say it's somewhere in the middle. And it's kind of the opposite of how people in wine culture use the term vintage. I think Lego collectors use the term vintage differently from almost every other collector or hobbyist snob out there. So I have very hard lines. A 1999 Star Wars set is vintage, but a Gen 1 2001 Bionicle set isn't.
Right. So you divide it up into the subcategories.
I've divided it into an evolution in design that I saw with Lego sets around Y2K.
Right. Okay.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
YTK changed more about the design of Lego sets than what people might realize.
Yeah. So I tend to agree. There was like a significant. I mean, obviously, I wasn't. Although I was around for all of those Lego sets, obviously, I wasn't in the game enough to sort of see it for myself. But you can look back at it now and sort of see where there was almost a kind of overnight switch. But like, it's weird for me because I don't even class the sets that I had as a kid, the castle sets. I don't class them as vintage. To me, the vintage sets would have been the sets that were kind of old then. But of course, obviously, it's kind of subjective, I guess, to some extent,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
So,
because like people older than me would say that anything that anything from when the Lego Island game came out to when I see the cutoff with the 2001 Bionicle set, some people would say that sets came out when Lego Island came out. They're not vintage. Some people even older say that the whole of the 90s is not vintage. Like, everyone has their own definition, I find, in the Lego community.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is that how do you define your? I don't know what I don't. It's almost impossible to categorize it, and I'd say of all the people I know in this community, you're probably the most enigmatic in terms of trying to define, what kind of niche you fit into, if at all, within this kind of this Lego community. But how would you describe it if you were describing it to someone brand new to the community or an alien and just landed on the planet? Your place in this community, how do you describe that?
I absolutely view myself as an elder statesman.
But in terms of your Lego collecting and what you do on your channel,
In
like the
terms of
content and all, yeah.
in terms of my Lego collecting, it was already described for me by Briggsar. I'm an A-phone. A fan of old Lego. A-phone.
right? Okay, because there was a term that I came up with sort of in my own head for you a while back when we first kind of started interacting, and it just reminded me of a character from a movie where you're kind of that person who, knows a little bit about everything and kind of like an overseer for the community, if you like, where kind of everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, because there are some people that know a little about a lot of things. I think of myself as I know enough about a lot of things.
Yeah. But okay, so the main reason we got you on is because you're look, obviously there's plenty of people who went to Bricktastic, but I think you were a kind of, you turned the whole, first of all, you came from such a long way to get here, which speaks volumes about the actual event itself, which is obviously based in the UK, which is generally a forgettable place when it comes to brick conventions. So I wanted you to try and change that, especially for some of the American people watching, but also the fact that you turned the whole thing into like a journey and what you did, your trip. So give us a kind of overview of like the trip, Bricktastic, and all the rest of it, and we're going to throw up a nice picture of Bricktastic just to kind of whet some appetites. Slurpy, can you sort that out for us?
Well, I'll just straight up say I absolutely cringe when people say that they don't want to drive 8 hours to a convention. Try say that to me who flies 24 hours, 10,000 miles.
Was this your first international convention? Like,
nope.
Is it
nope.
Really? You've been to Chicago? Or?
I've flown twice to Brickworld Chicago.
But your first time at Bricktastic?
Yes.
First time in the UK, though, no?
Because it was the Brits who were at Bricktastic 2024, who were at Brickworld Chicago 2024, who convinced me to change up my plans and my next international convention, because I'm trying to do one a year for now, the next 7 years or whatever. They convinced me to go to Bricktastic instead of Brick Fair Virginia.
Okay. So, but was it your first time in the UK?
Yes.
So epitomise Bricktastic again for us who know. Well, I know quite a bit about it now, just from sort of feeding into the community, and particularly around your content. But for somebody who doesn't know their asshole from their elbow in terms of events, tell us about Bricktastic.
So, if you imagine Brickworld Chicago as the pinnacle of a corporate-run, corporate-funded, corporate-organized, corporate-executed convention, Bricktastic is run by Fairy Bricks, which is a charity organization. So it's a lot less professional, but it has a much kind of cozier vibe. And because the convention hall is ever so slightly smaller, because there is ever so slightly less exhibitors, means that the room feels more open. And because there's not as many lugs in the entirety of the UK, then there are American lugs that are within the proximity to Chicago. Everything feels a little bit more homely, which means that it has its own atmosphere, so to speak. And because there's only one day before the public days, that's in line with what we have here in Australia, Brickvention. So the vibes I felt at Bricktastic were the same vibes I felt at Brickvention.
Okay, so even though it was your first time, and obviously taking away the fact that you were, it was a holiday for you essentially as well, you were sold on the idea after visiting.
Yes, well, because I like to put everything in scales, and when I rank like-minded things, I like to grade them on bell curves. So if I put Brickworld Chicago as the gold standard, everything I grade from there, the conventions I go to, has to measure up to Brickworld Chicago, and I think that Bricktastic at least had to be 83% as good as Brickworld Chicago. Compared
That's very exact.
Compared to the slightly scaled down atmosphere of Brickvention, which is probably only 70% of Brickworld Chicago. Because I went to Brickvention 6 months after Brickworld Chicago, and it was like a culture shock. It was almost completely different in how the organization was run. So I was familiar with the format of Bricktastic, so that's why I was able to enjoy it more. And if you go to conventions like that, wherever you are in the world, you'd be used to it. However, if you do frequent the big American conventions, and then you compare it to Bricktastic, then you know what the format's like, but you realize it's the biggest of that format.
Right.
I
Sorry,
was very aware because Bricktastic, it's somewhat organized, obviously fairy bricks, but also with brickset as well. I know that that's the convention I went to in Ireland last year. The same kind of deal. It's not a corporate one; it's charity.
Yeah, most of the small scale conventions across the world are either run by charities or are run directly by the local lug, because every recognized lug has to have one specific convention per year that they exhibit at to get recognition status. So Bricktastic, since it is a recognized convention, and there are multiple UK lugs that have Bricktastic as their official convention for their lug, because they have that recognition status, that's why you get the brick set involvement. That wouldn't happen if Bricktastic, which is recognized, hadn't had that tie with Lego. Because all recognized conventions have a tie with Lego, which means they can do stuff with the benefit and the quote-unquote backing of the Lego group that unrecognized conventions can't do.
Mm. But what would you say, because I've heard somebody say, don't ask me who, somebody mentioned that Bricktastic is like, and I guess obviously they haven't been to every convention in the world, but Bricktastic is a close second to Brick World. Yes.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because at least of the ones I've been to so far, and Brick Fair Virginia, or Brick Slopes Utah, or Atlanta BrickCon could change the balance and upset the scales. But with my limited experience, absolutely, it's the second best I've ever been to.
Well, I think in terms of crossing oceans, you're the only person that I know of, possibly even, certainly the only person on this panel, and possibly even in the chat as well, who's been to conventions on both sides of the pond. So you're probably the only one who could rate that. Not that it is against, it's not against US versus UK, but it's just interesting to see how they stack up, because normally those kind of things, these kind of events you attend in somewhere like America, where they can do everything to the nth degree. And look, I've been to a couple of conventions in the UK, and they are very, very sort of small scale in comparison, like one-day events. Yeah. But yeah, I'd heard everything pretty much you've said about Bricktastic and a lot more. So yeah, definitely going to put that on the radar for next year. I think the main reason I didn't do it,
and also what you just described, is because British conventions take more of the charitable approach. American conventions take more of the corporate approach, and conventions get cancelled if the Brick convention franchises deem them to be unprofitable.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I still don't really know. I know you talked a little bit about lugs there, but I know it's a Lego user group, but I still don't really understand, because I've looked to see if there's one near me. I don't think there's any that are operational that I can work out. But I don't really understand like what it is, what's the kind of purpose of it is, what it does. Is it just
a Lego user group they were originally intended to be a networking exercise among your fellow builders, but then social media evolved, and now less people get involved with lugs because we have social media in the palm of our hands. And now it's kind of ironic, the very purpose that lugs were created for are now being facilitated by social media. Nowadays, the people that hear about lugs is through social media. Back then, you used to hear about different social media groups through your lug. So the evolution of communication within the Lego community has kind of flipped the script, so to speak, over the past 20 years.
And there's obviously different lugs, like there's like our lug, recognized lugs by Lego, and that can lead on to LAN and all other sorts of shenanigans as well.
And also, if your lug becomes recognized, then you qualify for lug bulk, which is a whole nother can of...
Right.
It's the VIP lunch.
Sounds like a rabbit hole.
Yes, it is, and I'd be happy to jump down it if I get questioned about it.
Yeah. Well,
because obviously,
I just want to say.
Sorry, go ahead, come on.
No, I just wanted to say I only just realized Padawan's ear. So sorry, Padawan, we weren't ignoring you. I didn't even know. I haven't been looking at the screen.
I've just been listening to words for the last 10 minutes, so I'm like,
yeah.
Well, I was waving at you, but I don't think you noticed.
Yeah. So, Padawan, have I enlightened you?
You have, man. Like, blow my head clean off. That's what you've done.
Yeah, this guy is the dictionary of Lego, I guess. So, but no. So look, so talk to me a little bit about, because I know roughly what your trip was because you mentioned it to me before in a previous stream. And if you guys do get a chance to go back, look at watch the 48-hour streams, especially the ones the Mayo was on. Some of the random conversations and comments that went on were, I find it entertaining because I like that kind of stuff. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I can talk all day about some conversations. In this group or in this what do you call it? This chat, I guess. It tends to be a little bit more loose chat, not too serious, about a little bit of everything and nothing. So we don't try to redefine the wheel here, but at the same time, I think you've got quite an interesting insight into obviously what you've already talked about, but also just a little bit about the history of Lego, that kind of thing. So, but talk to us a little bit about your trip. What your trip looked like. Don't go into how long each flight was and what meal you had on your flight, that kind of thing.
No.
But just generally, what your trip was, what it entailed, and all the rest of it.
Well, the 5 things I can put into summary was selfie hunting with my friends who went to Bricktastic, selfie hunting about trains, both around London and the most famous of the small towns in Wales. A selfie hunting at sports stadiums, exhibiting at Bricktastic, and being able to cross stuff off of my bucket list. Those are the 5 reasons in a nutshell.
Because I I was looking through some of your content, and I don't know whether it was just because you might have been tired or feeling a bit indifferent, but I feel like there were certain pictures that you in certain pictures you were kind of taking a picture of yourself with something like you were forced to be there, and others you were you could see you were really ecstatic to be there. There only seemed to be 2 versions of your face. It was either really, really happy, or I'm being held at gunpoint kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because I had to force myself to put on the Joker smile in some of those photos after I took a previous selfie with just a blank stare, because people have actually criticized me that I don't smile in my selfies. I don't smile in my selfies that I post on Instagram, because I don't do that for fun. I do that for a quota.
Well, I actually went for
funny,
I picked one of the 1,000-mile stare ones for the thumbnail. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, because if you could sum up one of my selfies, it's the 1,000-yard stare.
But I was watching the one where you were kind of walking down the street as well, and it was it's weird because you seemed really nervous walking down the street, and you don't strike me as the kind of person who gets nervous.
You know why I was nervous? Because how some people literally video record themselves so that they can use a body cam footage as evidence in the court of law or the court of public opinion on social media, or how some people literally record everything so that they can see if they can try find a hot girl and zoom in on their boobs or whatever.
What? Right. Yeah.
Well, I was like that, and I was just praying to God no one walking on the streets of London thought I was a creep trying to get a reel for Instagram.
Even though that's exactly what you were doing.
Yeah. I was
no one
just
cares.
praying. I was just praying to God. People were too busy with their own lives, and hoping that they would see that I wasn't video recording them. I was video recording my face and trying to get as much of the most London things in the background as possible.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. Okay. Do you know what? It's just weird though, because I think there is that element of that. I've spoken to like my fiance about things like this in the past, where she's like, you've just taken a video of you walking around a shop, looking at Lego sets, talking to the camera, and then you've taken them to the till, and you're talking to the woman while you're filming, and you just like, well, how are you? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, it don't make no difference to me.
Yeah, but
You know,
do you know the reason why I filmed that reel in the first place?
Right.
So I'm a big darts fan, and the past world championship, of which Luke Littler broke all records, I decided after Coolhan Luke, not you Luke, but the darts player Luke Humphreys won the previous world championship. I decided after that I was going to commit to watching every set of every match in this year's tournament. And so I did that. And what I realized is that for the Sky Sports coverage of the PDC World Darts Championship, they always played a British song in the credits at the end of each of the match day plays. One of them was LDN by Lily Allen. And so I thought that was a cool song. So I went onto YouTube to see the music video, and essentially the music video is her walking down the streets of London with her rose tinted glasses on, and then for the B roll in that, you see London without its rose colored glasses on. So I wanted to walk down the streets of London with that song in the background, because that was a memorable music video in my opinion.
Oh, shout out to Keith Allen, because he's got roots in Wales, her father. But no, if you're doing that again next time, because I think that reference went completely over my head.
Yep.
But if you're ever doing that again, do a song by The Verve called Bittersweet Symphony.
Yep.
Where he's walking down the street.
Exactly,
Like
because that uses the same format.
Yeah.
And if you remember from that music video, he walks by a KFC.
Oh Christ, no, I don't remember that much.
See,
I Coldplay got a similar video as well, but I think it goes backwards. Could be wrong.
No, that's on a beach though, isn't it?
No, I'm sure it's through streets as well, but it might not be London. So ignore me.
No, I'm not sure the Verve is London actually, because I don't even know where they're from. They're from Manchester, aren't they? But anyway, we're going way off topic. But I want to throw up what I assume was what you displayed at. Have you got that picture there, Slurpy? I can't see it lined up. I'm sure I sent it to you. The giant mayonnaise. Pretty sure I sent it to you.
No, the only photo I have regarding Mayo is his mosaic he made of the mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's it.
That?
Is that what you displayed at Bricktastic?
Yes, that is my travel exhibit.
Right, yeah, throw it up, because I want to... I'm trying to work out how big the bloody thing is. But I'm guessing but tile by brick, what do you call it? Stud by stud.
Yeah.
It probably can't fit in the screen. Go on, and what is this? What is this stud by stud?
Well, it's on the base plates underneath are 96 by 96. But the section you cut off is the printouts of the QR codes I keep on it when I'm actually exhibiting it. So I have no idea, but from the looks of it, it looks like it's a 96 by 60 stud area, because you can see some of the seam lines are the gaps in between the base plates, and I connect them together on the outside edge with the 2x8 white plates, and you can see that some of the white plates are highly yellowed.
Yeah.
I noticed that too, especially in this left corner eyes. Like there's some. Oh, that has played. That is bleached.
There's also, if you guys can spot it, there's also one by one round stud in there.
Yes, there is.
Well, actually, there's a few.
Because I was too lazy to find square ones.
Whoever finds it can pay for my internet.
So, how did you transport that, Mayo? Did you have to make it when you're there, or
no? I did.
Did you have it like partly made and put?
It's my travel exhibit because it just fits inside my suitcase.
Right.
Yeah, so it's all flat. It's 2-dimensional, so it's all like...
So I have to keep it. So my suitcase is just wide enough for 4 48 studs.
Right. So they're all pre-made on it, and then you just put the plates together. Yeah.
Yeah, I just connect the four grey base plates together with those 2x8 white plates that I talked about.
But this can be found on his Instagram, but I'll just say now that he hasn't just gone, 2x4s, 1x4, whatever. It is like, if you zoom into it, he's used lots of angle pieces and put them together, even where he doesn't even need to. So, he's probably just good use of pieces. I don't think he's done that, for the...
And you can see that some areas are tiles instead of plates, and some areas, like, you can see a jumper, and you can see some of the half round tiles. I just used whatever I could to get the right shape because I was lazy.
So that brings me nicely on.
There.
There's a few actually. Now I'm looking at it. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm seeing. But if you go to the brown blob in the middle, which represents kind of like a bit of highlighting, I guess. If you go zoom right in, go down a little bit on that picture. See in there, kind of the northeastern sort of quadrant of it. You can see where he's used like one of those. I don't even know how you describe it, because you can see there's no studs. Right up a bit there, right there. See where he's used that?
Because those are the diagonal edges of 6x6 angled plates.
No,
this photo is so low quality. Like it's this AI'd. I can't even tell what's what.
Yeah, I'm looking at the original, but it is good. But no, the reason I put this up is obviously I wanted you to get a chance to show it here as well, because obviously that's the whole point, for you to showcase yourself.
It's
really cool. It is really cool.
And right there, you could see a 2x2 corner tile.
Yeah, I'm seeing all sorts in here. But the question, the reason I threw this up, the main reason I threw this up is because I wanted to know what is the connection to mayonnaise. I obviously get the real whole egg because that's what mayonnaise claims it includes. But where does that come from? Because I don't know what your real name is, so I don't know where, and you don't have to necessarily tell us. But I just want to know why Mayo. Where's this whole kind of come from, so we can get an idea of that, or is it supposed to be like a big secret?
Yeah. So in 2011, that's when I started eating McChicken burgers at McDonald's instead of cheeseburgers, and I grew to like the taste. But what I realized is that the mayonnaise that the fast food burger joints use is often a lot more savory and tangy than your store-bought traditional mayonnaise, which has way too much sugar in it. And so I was on the hunt throughout 2012 to find a store-bought mayonnaise that matched the mayonnaise that McDonald's used in their chicken burgers. And so I found it. It was Praise Real Whole Egg Mayo. And since I finished my quest, I thought it would be funny because when you're a 12-year-old in 2013, you copy what everyone else does. And so my original video format was a copy of a Lego channel called Matt Simmons. It's hard to search for their channel these days, so you really have to put the Lego word on the end when you search for them. I decided to copy their format and just think of the most bizarre internety name I could think of that connected to something I liked in real life. So I went with the Mayo Hosko name on the 7th of January 2013. And so it kind of spawned off from there because I thought to myself, well, you know what? I could make that my weird internet identity.
So Hosko is your real name, though, right? This is your real surname.
Hosko is a rewrite of my actual last name, which is a name that's a spin of my last name that some people in my family used at the time on their social media.
Oh, so is it Hoskins?
It's very close. That is very close to my last name. Very close.
Look, we're not in the habit here of revealing any information on people that they're not comfortable talking about, so that's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to know because I don't think you've ever made it really so. I mean, people who know you longer probably already know where it came from.
And also people who are friends with me on Facebook know. So if you do want to become friends on Facebook, the link is in the description of most of my videos.
So there you go, guys. Real whole egg. I connect to it because obviously I went for the Cool Hang Luke connection when I started out. Just because I got advice from somebody that, you know, if you're going to start with an identity, pick it and stick with it. And mine was the Cool Hang Luke thing, which obviously, you know, most people probably don't even know much about that film or that character, but he eats 50 eggs. So I was just like, you know, that's what he's most famous for, eating 50 eggs, which apparently is humanly impossible. But I'd give it a go. But yeah, the egg thing was a connection. So
I only know the what's the quote from that film? It's used in the Guns N' Roses song. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Is that it? You used that in one of the early episodes too.
Yeah, well, that's how I started the thing off. I wanted to keep that connection, but in the end, I was just like, it's just too arbitrary for people. I think to kind of, you know, I don't know. I think I maybe wanted to try and sort of streamline things a little bit. And the whole sort of Lego, Star Wars, and Cool Hang Luke, there was no real connection. So I was just like, yeah, let's just keep the name, trash the rest.
I mean, originally, I thought you just picked the name because you thought Luke and Han was cool from Star Wars. That's why.
No, the opposite, because I don't like.
But then obviously, I know the film because I'm that old. So yeah.
Yeah, well, the connection was Cool Hand Luke. I always liked the film. I connected with the character because basically, if you want to know anything about me as a person, watch that film, and I'm pretty much that guy. So, but also, it's Han and Luke instead of Hand and Luke, obviously from Star Wars. So I don't know. I played around with it. I workshopped it for about 40 seconds, and bing, here we are.
Yeah, because I thought of all of that stuff when I saw your name, but I also thought of Cool Runnings.
Push the bobsleigh, win the race. Okay. So is there anything, Mayo, that you wanna talk about that, you know, and obviously you've got to bear in mind that there's people watching this who might not quite grasp your personality and the way you kind of explain things. Like, I get it. Like, I get it, right? But yeah, so I what I don't want to do is I don't want people to be like, what the hell are we watching? I want to keep it obviously Lego orientated, but just you know, is there anything you want to in particular you want to talk about? I could, you know, what we're planning to talk about in the show.
Yeah, because I know the culture, which is why I'm happy. Well, I see it as a challenge to attempt to answer any question that anyone asks me to the best of my ability. But if people do ask me questions about vintage Lego trains and the history of the Lego community, that is my forte.
Well, we did have a couple of questions. I saw it.
I just want to ask one thing to Mayo. This isn't a question, but did you see the Great Ball Contraption by Hugh?
Yes, because I got a 5-minute footage of the Great Ball Contraption at Bricktastic, which I included in my vlog about Bricktastic,
Yeah.
which I uploaded this time last week.
Because I seen it in person when it was here. You had to take it all the way over this side too, and it's a. I just implore anyone. Who do you call the guys? I don't know if it's Brick Fanatics or who are the guys that wear the red shirts? Beyond the Brick. They did a video about the.
Yeah, Beyond the Brick.
Anyone that's watching, just look up their video, the Great Ball Contraption. It's very recent, and it's I think in terms of like Lego mocks and technical engineering, it's one of the coolest things anyone has built out of Lego. I think he did most of it too, or at least kind of came up with the whole general idea of it, and it's really good.
Yeah, because the Great Ball Contraption is more organized than what most people think. Because, for example, there's one of the lugs in the US, I think somewhere in the South, they actually sell kits how to build your own Great Ball Contraption. And I know some people that bought their kits when they attended Brick Fair, Alabama, before Brick Fair, Alabama kind of got replaced by Atlanta BrickCon.
Well, I have no clue what you guys are talking about. So unless we've got a picture, I'm zoning out.
Do you not know what a Great Ball Contraption is?
Well, I can kind of work it out from what you guys have said, but I don't like you're talking about it as if like it's it's shrouded in this kind of. No, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, well, if you don't know what a Great Ball Contraption is, you can feel free to share footage of it from my video about a Bricktastic.
Yeah, pass it out.
I'm not gonna sue. I'm not gonna sue anyone, obviously.
I'll throw it up real quick because I think it's super cool.
Because you do got to cater to those people that don't know what a Great Ball Contraption is. Like, I remember 8 years ago, I had no idea what they were talking about with GBC.
Yeah, well, whilst Slurpy tries to dig it out, chat, if you've got any questions for Mayo, whether it be about himself, how to cook an elephant trunk, or like, anything to do with Lego or Bricktastic in particular, because obviously that's something I do want to, I wanted to dive more into, but I guess, it's basically like, I don't know enough about it, and obviously I haven't really got any questions because I don't know, it's just kind of a little bit. Basically, I'm sold on the idea of going next year, but I kind of want to get an idea of exactly what it entails. But obviously, if anybody's got any more questions about Bricktastic or for Mayo, chuck it in the chat, and obviously we'll throw them his way. Go on in, Austin. What you got, mate? It's going to be something stupid and bizarre.
I'll just play this video while Ostef asks his question.
Typing.
Silence is not good for streams. That's why I spitball and talk out of my ass, so that people don't turn away when no one's talking.
Straight. He's a real straight shooter. He's typing something up, but he's probably typing nothing. He's just keeping us dicking about. And I'm trying to keep Padawan from falling asleep as well during the stream. So
yeah, you got to fast forward a little bit to get past the trains. There's the GBC.
This thing. I know what it is now. Yeah. Where it collects the balls and sends them around the.
Yeah.
Is it that?
So in layman's terms, a Great Ball Contraption is an obstacle course of Lego balls.
Yeah, we called it like Screwball Scramble back in my day.
Yeah, because I remember playing with the old Tommy toy of the Screwball Scramble.
They did a bit like this on Lego Masters, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really laggy, but I can kind of get the idea, I guess. I just wouldn't know where to start with something like that. See, you could give me like a million years with all the Lego at my fingertips, and I'd never be able to do something like this.
Well, actually, if you look at my channel, it looks like I've only been around since 2020, but that's because I deleted all of my old videos because they were crap.
Yeah, I think like what I like about Mayo, obviously he's direct. You know, he's very sort of random, but also, you know, he doesn't sort of shy away from what it is he's trying to talk about. But I think I've like watched your videos before where you're like, I'm trying to think of an example, but I've tried to watch some of your content before where it's like, here's all my best bits or something from the last year, and you just flash up just all this random imagery, and it's just like, what the, it's just like, yeah, stuff like that. I don't know. It's for me, it's kind of a bit of sort of comic relief, a little bit different from the normal, because when you're watching YouTube and you see the same sort of stuff being talked about over and over again, sometimes you want something that just kind of, you know, what I call that palate cleanser. So so that's what I like. And obviously you've been on you do your own live streams where you have some different people while you're building and stuff, and you just kind of break it like you break out into some of these sort of way off topic conversations that just go, and I'm just like, this is just awesome viewing. But
yeah,
you know,
because I got to the point where I don't want to do live streams anymore unless either I have something pressing I want to talk about, or someone approaches me and says, "Hey, let's talk about this."
It's a question here from Fabu. How many jars of mayo per year is acceptable?
I try to restrict myself to one per month.
One per month?
Yeah.
Jesus. You must
That's
have it
a
in the
lot.
veins, mate. I can't even remember the last time I had mayonnaise.
I don't think
No,
I've ever
I
had
don't
a
really
jar
tell-
a year. Only garlic mayo
I don't-
and satchels. If you know,
And
you know.
even then, sometimes I choose: do I want a jar of mayo, or do I want a tub of ice cream for this month? And Padawan, I haven't heard him say anything since Kulhan questioned him why he wasn't saying anything.
I'm here. I'm just
He's
having a fucking good time.
He's waiting for the ring piece talk. But we'll get
Right.
to that shortly.
Silly question for mayonnaise. Jar or squeezy bottle?
Jar.
Ooh.
Nice.
Can we have some Lego questions, guys? I mean, the guy knows a lot about a lot of stuff. Like,
Well, I did. I asked him about how he transported his Lego to the.
no, I know, I'm only joking.
Oh.
But
See, with a name like mine, you get very obvious questions
yeah,
because it's such a confusing name if you don't know me.
Well, Mayo, I kind of just came back up again there, and you said you're pulling away from maybe doing live streams and stuff like that. What is the kind of content that you want to focus on? Because you used to do like live streams of building and stuff like that.
That was when people lost their jobs.
Yeah,
What?
there's one.
Then they got their jobs back and either cut down on their social media or they quit the community.
yeah.
Because those quote unquote Rona channels, they were there because they were bored. They chewed us up and they spit us out when they could go back to normal. You remember all of those celebrities who had a coming to Jesus moment to realize how good Lego was because they were in between gigs?
I mean, Red, this is the thing. I've always heard about the Rona podcast, but I was never. I'm not going to say it, like I was in obviously a different sort of side of the Lego community, so I never really saw that. I saw my community kind of like more shit. So I don't know, like these channels, like if they were kind of pump and dump, so to speak, like they just came, made content, made money, and left. Like I don't know. Like is there like much of a kind of decline in the amount of content in terms of live content, or what? Because and that's not really I'm
Actually,
somewhat new to live
actually
content
the
the last
opposite.
2-3 years.
Actually, I see the complete opposite because there's so many good platforms for operating a stream. The barrier for entry to become a streamer is lower than it's ever been because it's easier to do so if you know what you're doing. And so it's not that so I actually I see the opposite. Not only is it easier for people to stream, but the things people stream about is changing because we've evolved so much from Google Hangouts and the standards of excellence on social media just gets bigger and bigger every year. So people adapt to the trends. The trends used to be hang out with your friends and build Lego. Now it is very trendy to do podcast type streams where you have an insightful conversation, kind of like an interview or a philosophical questioning about Lego. Because like we all see the success of 3 specific streams is London Calling, a couple of Brickheads, and Good Morning Brick World. They bring the community together. They give their opinions and they have insightful conversations. Rarely on those streams do you actually build stuff anymore. 5 years ago, if you weren't building, then you weren't doing anything on your stream. You were just spitballing to your audience. And there are some people today who still spitball to their audience, and that works for them.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah, but this is more of what I was talking about, where you have an insightful conversation or you give just an opinion piece. Some people choose to execute their live streams like a live podcast.
Yeah.
So we do have a question from Legend Lego. Which Lego train is your favourite, Mayo?
The Metro Liner from 1991, without doubt.
Ask him how many pieces it is.
I have no idea.
Oh, really? Wow. Did anybody... We got to clip that. He has no idea. No, Mayo, look, I want to just go back briefly. I know there's a couple other questions, but Austin asked about you being the only Aussie Lego guy. I don't think that's necessarily true.
I'm the only consistent Australian.
Because
all of the other Australian content creators right now are inconsistent because they are older than me. They have families. They have jobs. They have bills to pay. They are kept busy. I'm 20. I'm 23 years old. I'm in grad school. And by the way, Holly moved to the US.
Yeah, I was going to say Holly, but she's in America now, isn't she?
Yeah, she lives in Florida now. Hello,
she's
by the
still
way.
Australian.
Yeah, and I'm specifically talking about YouTube only. I don't know what goes on Instagram or Twitch or whatever. So it's like the reason why I resonate with my international audience is because they're active.
Yeah.
If my Australian friends were active, we'd be doing stuff all the time because we're on the same time zones, or we're within a similar time zone range. So in a way, I almost feel betrayed by my own country, almost.
Yeah.
Which is why I was like, well, if you don't have the time, let alone time for me, why should I bother with you in the first place?
Well, the next question I was going to ask, which kind of ties in nicely with that, and maybe ties the whole thing, is unless we got any other questions, obviously keep them coming. But so, what does the future look like for Mayo?
The future is trying to do as many kind of philosophical Lego videos and think pieces and opinion piece type videos to get to 1,000 subscribers for kind of the season 2 arc of my channel, because I've learned a lot about how to make a good video over the years. And one of the best things that I've ever learned is if your video title is a question or a statement that has keywords that people search for on the YouTube search engine on their browser, then you're more likely to get a good result.
Well, give me an example.
So an example of is the video that I'm premiering in less than 2 hours. Why are Lego mosaics so good? Which ties into my travel exhibit at Bricktastic. So I'm not going to spoil everything because for people who want to know what I have to say, you can watch the video. But I'll just say that a lot of people view Lego as an art medium, and so do I. I consider myself an artist because I've sold art before, and Lego is a good way for me to be artistic. I'll just let it be at that. You can interpret anything you want until you hear the actual information in my video later.
Okay, but so when you were talking about keywords, what is the keyword in that mosaic?
Yeah, well, a lot of people. So you know how YouTube tutorials do so well because people are looking for an answer to their question. If you can provide them an answer, then they're going to want to click on your video to find the answer. So, and also there's kind of an extreme end of that when you do a hot take or you give a sensationalist opinion. I think a lot of people can agree about the reasons why Lego mosaics are good. So I put why as a keyword, I put Lego as a keyword, and I put good as a keyword. Because people use those words when they question how good something is or how bad something is, and a lot of people look for those opinions when they go doom scrolling on social media. Or it's also or sometimes I might ask a question, and you notice in some people's videos about their mocks, they ask questions to their viewers. Does this look better? Or does this look better? Like, I think of one of Coconut Brick Studios' recent Star Wars Mimban updates. He asked which position of the Juggernaut looks best in his mock, A, B, or C. If you have that type of viewer engagement, then in your scripted in your videos, those yield better results.
Yeah, you got to be willing to commit to it as well, because this brings me on nicely, because we've got the new banner, which you guys might have noticed in the thumbnail. So sidewinding a little bit from what you were saying for a sec, Mayo. But so I put the new banner on the thumbnail. I wanted to include it somehow, and I was gonna put it to a. I was gonna put a what do you call it? Like a vote. What are they called? On the street, a poll to say whether people prefer that or the original version. Because obviously, what we haven't got is anything that says "Cool Hang Loop," which is the name of the show. Because I don't want it to just keep being about me. I can keep that for my own content. But I was like, I've already got an idea of what I want to do with it. So I'm like, what's the point of putting a poll if they end up saying what I don't want to do? So I think sometimes when it comes to these polls, it's like, you've got to be able to commit to it, because the last thing you want to do is get people engaged and end up doing something different anyway. And I have seen that in other channels, and it's kind of like, well, that was kind of a waste of time. It just kind of feels a bit clickbaity-ish, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
there's
and
a lot.
also something with polls is good for viewer engagement, but you've got to have a viewership base that is willing to engage with those polls.
100%.
Which is why I kind of stopped doing polls because no one votes on them.
Yeah, I think it works. It's worked in the past for us during a stream. But if I've done one on a community tab or something like that, then not so much. But
that's how I feel.
But anyway, guys, look, we're gonna obviously Mayo is here for as long as he can stay awake, and as long as he's comfortable to talk about and join in the conversation,
which will be all night long.
Nice.
I was gonna say, like, I was gonna be like, oh, I want to say revamp the show, make a logo or something like, oh. Cool hang look, right? Could you do CHL? But the problem is that's a champion hockey league, and then like you could run into bother with like initials and stuff like that.
Oh, don't get me started about sports. Oh my goodness.
Now all I'm thinking of doing is ordering another one of these, but saying cool hang loop, basically, and then using that. I don't want to. I think we've been using this so long. I don't want to change it up too much, and I'm not creative enough to think of something different. But the banner I want to try and do is because I always find it awkward when we start the show and we're all just sat there while the music's playing, the intro music. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to use the banner that George created for me, and then just have like all the hosts as a permanent fixation because the banner has like faded out bits on the top and bottom. In fact, did I send you the banner, Slurpy, or did I not?
No, send it to me and I'll throw her up.
Yeah, because
you can.
I want to try and incorporate it into the stream in some fashion, but I haven't really thought about how as such yet. That's the bit I'm basically struggling with. But let me send it to you now, and then I'll send it to you on WhatsApp.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's what I was thinking. But in the meantime, we've got for you guys coming up. We're going to talk about Andor season 2. We are going to talk about a couple of and I'll let the chat decide this, a couple of the March releases. I think it's been done to death a little bit, but if there's a couple of good ones that people really like, I put the T-Rex on there. Not a dinosaur fan, not a particular Jurassic World fan, and not a fan of Bones. But it's one of the sets that I do respect, and I'm quite well known for being like, unless it's Star Wars, get out. But I do actually respect that set. I think it's worth talking about. That's just an example. But we are definitely going to be talking about. We're going to be doing ring piece talk very shortly, and we'll hopefully get we'll get the jump cables out for Padawan, and we'll get him, and we'll get him up and running on the ring piece talk. Also, if you say it, cool hand, I can help. I don't exactly know what you're talking about with that, mate, but yeah. So let's do the ring piece talk next, shall we? Because Padawan, are you still?
Let's go.
There?
You still there, Padawan? Padawan, where's he at? Let's go. Where's he at?
Lords of the
Padawan, where are you at?
He's hiding.
Can't wait to talk about Padawan's ring piece. Yeah, perfect timing, just as he kind of skulks off. But yeah, so what
Padawan,
well, as you put that in last time, Martin, I thought, yeah, I'll add it.
Yeah, no, it's a good choice, mate. It's a good choice. Ring piece talk. Everybody's waiting for it. I can't remember.
I like the way it looks, but I'm nimble. I'm day one buying the Shire. Rumors were that the price was going to be around that. I mean, I don't know what the rumor for Great British Pounds was going to be, but in dollars, the rumor was 200, and then it was 270, then 240, then 200. Now it's back to like 270, I think.
So I heard 200,
Yeah, I
and I thought, wow, that'd be great because that'd be like quite cheap for us. But there's no way it's going to be 200. No way.
I'm kind of a bit basic. The Shire has my favorite scenes from The Hobbit. It's so homely. Well, not favorite, like a lot of favorite scenes, you know.
Well,
so I was like,
I'm the same as Nimble. even though I'm trying to save up, but I will be buying it on day one. Unless it's unless the because I've heard a slight rumor the GWP could be obviously is it Deagle and Smeagol, but then I heard Brickheads.
Just
Now, if it's Brickheads, I don't think I'll bother.
Which
Liz?
dollar?
Yeah, they're probably talking about American dollars, I would have thought. But no.
Well,
so I've got something that I sent to you, Slurpy, which is courtesy of 6 Bricks on Instagram, and he's done a comparison of the 2 bag end sets. I don't know if it's worth throwing that up. But did Coop? What information did Coop have on his? Didn't he have information
just
about
the main set? I think
that was all it was the picture.
if you want to give me a second, I can see if I could find for Coop. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure I took that picture.
I'm kind of the same. Like, well, I wouldn't say so much that I don't know. It just makes me wish we had like a full-on Lord of the Rings theme, a couple of sub £100 sets. You know, like that Helm's Deep set back in 2013 was fantastical. The Brick
I think what made me laugh is that I've seen a lot of recently, like GWP. It could be when Gandalf arrives, or it could be Bilbo's party thing, and it's like nope, it's all in the set.
Yeah. Well, it looks like for the graphics that Coop used, whoever sourced that to him was wrong.
Oh, what's that? Sorry.
What? How do you mean? Because it's changed.
Because that graphic says $200 That looks like fake news to me.
I mean, this was probably when the price kind of changed. Because that's the thing. These past few days, the price has been going up.
Let me just jump in. It's 270 USD.
Yeah.
That's the correct price.
It is it right?
Yeah,
And
about 250 quid.
Yeah, and graphics like that is why some people don't trust links.
Yeah, well, this wasn't on here to talk necessarily about the leak as much as it was to
comparing
do
them.
a set comparison, and obviously not including the things we don't know. But shout out to 6 Bricks anyway. If
I just wanted to know what Cam thought of it as well. So,
well, I was just more interested in the timeline because I didn't realize it'd been that long since we'd had one out. The piece count is quite interesting. Obviously, as long as this is all true. But
Cam,
yeah,
did
take
you
it away.
$270? Did you say $270?
Yeah.
Right. What's that? About $240 for us, something like that.
I don't know. I don't know what the price conversion's like on Lord of the Rings compared to other themes, but Max is saying €269, so I think £260. I probably could see it being like that.
So this is all you, Padawan. Take it away, mate, because we've got a bigger picture of the set
I'll share
as well
that
as this. Yeah, share that one instead because it's the set we're interested in.
Well, what do you want to know first? Do you want me to talk about what I think about it?
Yeah, what do you think of it?
So first of all, I think this set's really good, really, really good. It was always going to be a hard follow from Rivendell and Barrack Dirt because of how iconic those sets were. This kind of is pushing it back, kind of focusing more on. There's a lot of people, all ages, that can get involved in this set. From first glance, you've got 9 minifigures. We've got 3 exclusive figs off the bat. Rosie Cotton and the Proudfoots. So Odo Proudfoot, who's the angry bloke in Fellowship, who's like me, and he returns up and returns king. And then you've got his wife.
Proudfoot.
And then you've got obviously you've got Merry and Pippin when they set off the fireworks and blew themselves up. Gandalf when he turns up with his fireworks cart. Frodo, Samwise in the garden. Nice little Easter egg there about how he was earwigging on the conversation between Gandalf and Frodo. Bilbo with his 111th birthday speech with the banner, which I think is really nice, and just loads of little Easter eggs here and there with the cake, and you've got the staple with the sign on the garden gate, and it's to be honest, on first glance, I know it's the only photo we've had, but for the price, I'm not that fussed on it. It's going to be about £250, $270, I reckon. That's kind of the price they're rolling with. And I think for what we've got here, I think we've got price per piece might not be good, but I think just going off face value, I think this is worth the money. It's not overpriced, in my opinion.
Some people
I like the dragon firework as well.
Some people were theorizing that those side builds are only there because they needed to fill. They needed to fill parts for the price zone.
However, right, I get that. I would 100% get that.
Well, I heard Hive say that, but
if it was a crappy build, like I don't know, or not, if it was a standard build and they were just throwing in random buildings, let's take Mos Eisley as an example. You know, the main building itself is cool, and then they give you loads of little side buildings. Now, those side buildings don't really mean much. They're not like Easter eggs or like staples of that film, whereas all the side builds in this all mean something. You've got the banner with Frodo's and Bilbo's birthday and the speech and where he does it. You've got Merry and Pippin blowing themselves up with the fireworks, which is a cool scene, and letting off the dragon firework. You've got Gandalf rolling up with his cart of fireworks, which is another iconic piece of media from that film. So all these little side builds, they all add to the story of the set. So and I rate it. I think this set does way better on with these little side builds than it does on its own as just bag end. So
just to ask you, Cam, sorry, just want a quick ask. So will we be meeting in Bristol then on the 1st?
Unfortunately, I am in holiday in Egypt. I would 100% be there, but I'm just going to buy it online when I'm over in Egypt. Right. So, but yeah, I almost told Sam, I said the holiday was cancelled because I couldn't go and buy bag end day one. So, but no, I'm definitely FPJ in this, obviously, because it's Lord of the Rings. I've got a nice little spot ready for it up here.
Did somebody say full price Jones?
Oh, full price Jones all day. All day. I don't mess about with Lord of the Rings. I've calmed a lot down on Star Wars, but Lord of the Rings I still don't mess about.
So what do we expect the back of this to look like? Is it?
I think it's going to be Dollhouse. It's going to be Dollhouse. Let's be fair. It's going to be Dollhouse. You want to be able to easily turn this bad boy around and just be able to get in there. You know, Lego's pretty content with doing the builds like that.
I like the sunflowers,
isn't it? Really. So.
Let's be fair. I'm a Dollhouse type of guy. I'm a Dollhouse type of guy because I display sets. I don't play with them necessarily. The odd times I, dabble here and there. But like a set like this, like Rivendell, like Barad-dûr, it's front facing all day, every day. So by having another side to it, it kind of just defeats its display ability, and you're just paying for extra things that you're not going to see. So I'm more than happy to have the cut in half Dollhouse version of this set.
Full price Jones is in the chat. So how do we? Because I'm looking at this, and the first thing I say is that this doesn't scale well with the other two sets, because this is closer to probably minifig scale in terms of like, that kind of hillside, that door to the size of the figures. Whereas, if you were to put this next to, say, Rivendell, for example, it would probably be too big in comparison. Would I be right in saying that?
I think you're right. Yeah. So I would for example, Barad-dûr we're a million miles away from that ever being minifig scale. I mean, in real life, that thing is like 10-fold times taller than the Burj Khalifa. So you know what I mean. And then you got Rivendell on the other hand, which again is another big. In reality, it's a big kind of building or whatever kind of scene.
Sprawling. Yeah.
So and this is a lot closer to that minifig scale. It's easier to manage. So this may look a bit weird on the shelf next to the other two sets, but to be honest, I don't think
Rivendell gets away with it though.
Rivendell gets away with it. I don't think this is going to cause any issues for display. Do you know what's going to what shouts out to me for this might look odd on display? Is the bright green? Is the color? But that's the factual color of what bag end looks like. But having this contrasting next to Rivendell, you can kind of see, okay, Rivendell looks like a nice display collector's set. This, on the other hand, might look more like an MBS set, which I think is what they've gone for.
I'll tell you what, you stick it in the middle of all of the grey Star Wars ships and it'd look lovely.
Yeah, that's the reason why my Lord of the Rings stuff is on this shelf, is because I want to break up all the grey.
Well, that's why I have mine in my front room because I think they're so nice to display. So
Yeah, I haven't quite got Sam yet to let me
no,
display.
but
in the front room.
I'm single, so I'm allowed.
But I'm excited for the set. I'm hoping that people don't get. There was loads of things going around about people were going to get like not demonetized, like copyright stricken because of this getting out because of all of Lego's mad rules now on talking about leaks and stuff. But I mean, it was them that leaked
less
it.
than a month, isn't it? So it's not that far.
It was them that leaked it, so they haven't really got a leg to stand on, to be honest.
I mean, it's been
Yeah,
published
basically,
by other people.
I'm a big
like,
sort of Star Wars fan, but in my opinion, I just found this year a little
Order.
bit. But this, I'm really excited for.
Oh, I'm super excited for. This is the one of 2 sets we're getting this year. We're getting a Booknook set as well with a Balrog. That should be really cool. Really cool. But no, I think this is what I expected when these rumors first come out. I think towards the latter end of last year, this is what I expected, and I think I'm happy. I'm very happy with the end result, the end product.
It just annoys me that they're bringing out these nice sets when I'm trying to save up for Chicago.
Hey, how do you think I feel? I am now like super dry on Lego sets. Like,
but when I saw the price, I thought, well, that ain't. It's not like 400 odd like the other two. So
that's what I like. It's not like it's like, oh damn, finally a Lord of the Rings set that's actually priced reasonable. It only took them 12 years.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm happy that this set is cheaper than the previous 2 Lord of the Rings sets.
What?
It depends.
I can see you down there, Oaktown. Hello.
What?
It depends on
the Booknook Ultra. I don't understand.
What do you mean?
What is it?
What is it? So a Booknook traditionally is a separation in a library. So you put it in your bookshelf, and it separates books. And it's like normally it's like imagine the side of a hardback book. Imagine hollowing out the book and seeing a little scene inside the book.
Yeah, I know
That's what a Booknook is.
I know what it is, but I don't understand Ultra's comment.
It's supposed to be. We're supposed to get some sort of Lord of the Rings book. Like, I don't know a lot of details about it. There could be like a scene, somewhat like inside it. Kind of like.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be Gandalf and
Yeah. So the rumor is Gandalf and the Balrog in the Mines of Moria on the bridge. So
shall not pass
in Khazad-dûm. So,
but it's obviously going to be a lot bigger than what a standard Booknook is, because obviously you'd be talking micro scale otherwise, and it's kind of
probably opens up
pieces.
I was worried. I was kind of interested to know how they're going to do it, because if they want to have like a kind of a, let's be fair, I think you're going to have Gandalf as a minifig, you're going to have a little bridge, and you're probably going to have to make it look anywhere good. You kind of need the Balrog to be the size of like a mech, like a Star Wars mech, kind of that size. What you're gonna need to go for, and it needs to be all crammed in a Booknook. So I'm a bit like, how are they going to do this type of thing?
Yeah, I think they might be using the name kind of wrong, I guess.
So do I. I think it's going to be different to what we expect, because they've kind of, well, the rumor is kind of, I think the rumor, in my opinion, is kind of wrong. That's what I'm thinking.
So what do you guys think of this this set now that we're talking about, that they've actually included the Gandalf and the cart?
Hey, I'm liking
cool,
the way
everyone
they
ever thought it was going to be a GWP, but I think it's cool that they've included it.
Yeah.
It makes us think, like, well, why didn't they include the skiff with the Jabba? But there you go.
That was one of the first Lord of the Rings sets I got, was his arrival back in the day. First Lord of the Rings sets. It just makes me wish they did, just more smaller scaled sets, but I don't know. I think it's only this and the Booknook rumored for this year. There's nothing else, no brickheads or anything like that.
The GWP that could potentially come with this as well, which is exciting.
And
I reckon it might be a brickhead.
Lego, which I don't.
As long as it's not a couple of brickheads.
It's 99% confirmed, I think, that it's not a brickhead.
Right, well then it's day one then.
Exclusive figs, Deagle and Smeagol, exclusive figs. Exclusive figs in the GWP. Who would have wanted to guess that, eh? Is
that the first Andy Serkis minifigure then? Like, is his human form not animated bollocks or anything like that? Nothing too. That's pretty.
No,
cool.
That's like the first Smeagol, Andy Serkis kind of minifig. Whether they make it look they should make it look Andy Serkis better. We'll see what happens. But we've got from this set, if you include the GWP, you've got Smeagol, Deagle, you've got both Proudfoots, and you've got Rosie Cotton as exclusive figs. 5 exclusive figs out of a 250 quid set. I don't think there's.
I think the only one that's sort of missing, and I don't know. You'll know, Cam, the name of the woman. Is it Sagwell Baggins?
Oh, you're on about the Sackville Bagginses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool to add. They kind of feature a lot more in the Return of the King. They're more mentioned in the in the extended editions. They're kind of more spoken about in the theatrical edition. But no, that would have, if they were going to add any more, that's kind of what I would want. But what I would want is like
I
a full
think it's
party.
pretty good for what they're giving. I'm very happy.
Do you reckon Merry and Pippin will come with alternative hair pieces to make them not commit some sort of like terrorist act, that kind of way? Like...
That's the first
if they got
thing
alternative faces, then yeah.
When I saw this, I was like, why are they wearing like what are they called? I thought they were wearing turbans, genuinely.
I knew what it was supposed to be, like the fireworks scene, but I was like, did their hair stand out like a pencil sharpener, like up like that high?
They did.
I thought it was more. I thought it was more a kind of pop, but it's. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this. I don't think I'll day one by it.
The only thing I'm worried about, which I think is going to happen, is if you remember the Jewel on Peridia set, those were stickers that went round the edge like that. So I think all the windows, the doors, they're all going to be stickered, I reckon, and the gate sign is going to be stickered. I like the fabric Bilbo's. That's nice.
I was going to say, is that fabric? And same with the tent in it, because it's got the little black ball thing, so it looks like it's
Jesus.
Fabric.
You've obviously spent more time looking at this than me, because I couldn't even tell that was fabric. And so you're saying that door is not going to be a working door?
No. So look at the door. So if we look at the door, around the edge of the door, you've got those pieces. They're going to have stickers on them, I reckon. That and the gate sign will have a sticker on it. But the like Whittakee's just said, the tent fabric, and then the banner for Bilbo's 111th birthday is fabric printed, which is really nice, because they could have just cheaped out and either made a brick built kind of teepee, and then they could have made like a sign, one long sign of the happy birthday Bilbo Baggins. They could have just cheaped out, but they didn't. So I'd rather have stickers on the windows and the door than have that as a sticker.
So are we in the camp of, as I say are you guys in the camp of you'd rather them continue like this and drip feed us good quality gear than try to bang out and turn it into like a crap fest?
I think I'm fortunate that I have to an extent, I have disposable income where I can just go, I'm definitely going to buy this day one, 250 bangers. Thanks, Sam. I'm going to buy this
shout
day
out to
one.
my friend Claire there. Hi, Claire.
I think they need to do a big release and a small release. So that's where I'm hoping the Book Nook comes in cheap. You can get your big boy set, and you can get your really affordable, cheaper, small set, and then just keep it at that. 2 sets a year, nail them out. I think that's because if you like Lord of the Rings, the chances are you like Castle and you like Medieval and you like all of the other stuff they do. So you got to buy that as well. And if you're that deep into Lego, the chances are you like Star Wars, or you know what I mean. That it's a rabbit hole that never ends. So introducing a theme, an Icons theme like Lord of the Rings, but only giving us a couple of sets to kind of sink our teeth into, and then we have to wait till next year, I think is where they should stay at.
At least they're keeping the quality up though, aren't they? So each time.
I as much as I would love to see Lord of the Rings kind of delve into the full theme like 2012, 2013, is there that era was different. That was like the prequel trilogy of Star Wars. They had films coming out, there was hype, but that theme kind of just flopped a little bit. Like it's like, damn, it should have lasted the full run of films. It only was like 2 years, I think. At least Lord of the Rings anyway. It only covered really Fellowship, like it didn't really cover Return of the King. That was the biggest criticism I think of it.
Yeah. The problem
did the ship, didn't it?
They did the Corsair ship. The Corsair ship's like one of the best sets they made in Lord of the Rings.
But no Gondor, Like
They
that,
weren't ready to kind of release those UCS levels of sets at that point for that theme, were they? So, and let's be fair, Gondor would have to have the same treatment as like Harry Potter, where you'd have to make it microscale. Otherwise, you're just never gonna. You'd be paying $5,000 for the set if you wanted Ministerial. Do you know what I mean?
I wanted to mention that, but I couldn't remember how to say it.
I think they did have to kind of wait until like you said earlier, Padawan, that the true Lord of the Rings stroke Lego fans were like deep enough into adulthood that they've got that disposable income. I think that's I think they've done the right thing here by not trying to roll it out into play sets again, and just take their time, do it right, and to some extent, I'd like to see them do this, with Star Wars. But of course, if they started doing 2 sets a year with Star Wars, there would be uproar. But I think to do what they've been doing with this, I think you almost don't want to rush it. You almost want to. The question I was going to ask Padawan is, I know that the GWP is kind of rumored, kind of hinted, but before you found out, what would you have wanted it to be?
That was the thing. So, like, sky's the limit, and you can't. Let's be honest, right? You kind of got to keep it in theme with what you're releasing. So you couldn't. There's an abundance of GWPs. I'd like them to redo the bloody Foul Beast GWP and actually put the Witch King of Angmar in it. However, that has nothing to do with this set, so to speak. Maybe you could have had a couple of Nazgul on horses or whatever it may be. But the hard thing is, most of the things to do with this set that you could have a GWP of have already been done. So in a small set or whatever, you could do the Sackville Bagginses as a would be a good GWP. You get a couple of exclusive minifigs. It ties in directly with what this is about, with Bilbo's birthday and Bag End. The other thing that people might get upset about, which I thought would have been a cool GWP, is maybe like a buildable the book, the There and Back Again, A Hobbit's Tale, and The Lord of the Rings by Frodo Baggins, and kind of have the red book as a GWP. But
what Nimble's put there, that's what I think a lot of people thought it was going to be until
they've already added it in.
Yeah, I'm so happy it's not that.
That would have been such a throwaway GWP as well, because
I just think it's great that they've included it. It's just
they should. It's an iconic part of this scene in the Fellowship. They should definitely 100% keep this in, put this in there from the beginning, which I'm glad they have. But before I wrap up, there's an argument for and against why the theme should either be mass produced or not. So, didn't know if you knew, Rivendell and Barad-dûr of their respected years. So Barad-dûr last year, Rivendell the year before, were the top one both in the top 5 best-selling Lego sets of the year for Lego. Made the most amount of money for them. So that's a reason why you potentially want to do more sets from a consumer standpoint. But on the other hand, the reason why I don't want this to get overexposed as a theme is because most people I know, there's obviously hardcore fans out there, but I am sick and tired of Harry Potter because they just rinse and repeat the same sets because there's not that much to go off. And I worry that if they had a full-fledged Lord of the Rings theme / Hobbit, they would quickly, in a few years, run out of things to do in the good enough price point.
Tell me about it. I'm sick of the same Lego sets recycled for licensed themes over and over and over again.
So what about what they're sort of similar to what they're doing this year then? Like have a big set and then just have one other just smaller set?
Yeah, even like a battle pack or something. A little cool battle pack would be cool. A battle pack to complement the big set. You imagine if we had Barad-dûr and then add an orc battle pack to go with it, just to complement.
I just want the set of bloody Saruman birthing the Uruk-hai. I want give me a £40 set of that. You know what I mean? Like something dark and disgusting. But I know what you mean. Like obviously, like there's something strategic going on where we're going to release these big set pieces, location builds. This is obviously quite a substantial drop in terms of size and value as well compared to Barad-dûr and Rivendell. I'm happy about it.
But it's still an iconic set, though, isn't it? Really.
That's what I mean. It's my. I don't know if you hear that, Padawan, but this, I would get Rivendell and Barad-dûr, but when I think of Lord of the Rings, I always think of Bag End, and I'm like, oh, this is a set for maybe someone like me. Like, these has got my favorite scenes, some of my favorite scenes from the whole Hobbit and Lord of the Rings too, and that's why I was kind of like a little surprised. I was kind of maybe, I know there's rumors and leaks of the figs and all that, but I was like, what if they did like a UCS Falcon with this? You include figures from both the Hobbit as well as Lord of the Rings, but there'd be too many. There's too many dwarves. There's too many.
All I know is I got to get some more shelves.
I think also why they're sticking to Lord of the Rings more than the Hobbit is because more people enjoy the Lord of the Rings than the Hobbit.
Yeah.
So why risk having a crossover with IP? That's the only. But I get it, 100%. It'd be cool to have all the dwarves and stuff.
I'm not holding it against it. I'm like, oh, it would have been a cool twist, but obviously, yeah, as you say, like, those films were not really well received at the time.
I mean, obviously not calling it a battle pack, but they could always bring out just those dwarves where you could add it to, so you could take those out, add that in from the Hobbit and have that scene instead. Not that they'd ever do that, but
yeah, there must have been a load of what do you call it? Pieces they used for those dwarves that they must still have.
I think I speak for a lot. I speak for a lot of Lord of the Rings fans when I think if you had 1,000 people, Lord of the Rings fans in a room and said, we want a Lego set, what would you have it? I think 3/4 of the people in the room would say they want something Rohan orientated. Edoras, guys, knights on horses, like that's kind of where we need to be at. I mean, I think if you want to just buy a standard Rohan soldier, forget like Theoden King or all the horses to go with it, you're looking like £30-40. So I think people wanted like something Edoras themed to kind of break it up a little bit. But this
again, you can help me out here, Cameron. But what's the actual like big barn? He's the big where the king is. That big building.
That's Edoras. So that's
Edoras, right? Thank you.
Capital of Rohan.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that if they do another big £400-500 set like Rivendell and Barad-dûr, I feel like they'll probably do Helm's Deep again. Like, do it justice. I even know the play set was really good. It's like it would be pretty incredible to see them do a £400-500 version of it.
I mean, someone who's now collecting the big, sort of Lord of the Rings sets, then yeah, I would like that. I would like Helm's Deep. I know they've done it, but I would like a newer version.
Because this is technically the first. What is it? Did they do Barad? They didn't do Barad-dûr in the original theme. What did it?
No, they did. They did Tower of Orthanc. They did Isengard.
Yeah. So this is technically the first remake set of Lord of the Rings, if you can even call it that. But then again, I think the other Bag End was the Hobbit.
Yeah, the Hobbit. Yeah.
So I'm like, that's where I'm wondering maybe they would go down the route of like, let's remake an old set, but like Girtha says.
I think
I think I speak for every Lego Lord of the Rings fan when everyone now they brought out Barad-dûr, everyone wants a remake of Tower of Orthanc. That set alone now is like a grand, like sealed even more. And I think people want Tower of Orthanc to complement Barad-dûr so they can have the two towers. I want it. I'm even like,
that would be awesome.
Shameless plug. If anyone out there wants to sell me a Tower of Orthanc for a little bit of a dealio in Brickworld Chicago, I'll buy it.
That was,
I think. No, go on. Sorry, mate.
No, I think that was the biggest set from the original theme. I think
that was the big boy set of the original theme.
Yeah, they could probably do that justice as well if they redid it now. So have the actual two towers as well on people's display. I think would be epic.
But before. I'm sure Padawan, if you're Lord of the Rings fan, do you know Brotherhood Workshop on YouTube?
Yes.
Oh no, just going to say they do. They were kind of what made me get into Lord of the Rings back when it like originally became a theme and all. I was like, oh damn, cool. But no, if anyone doesn't know, look up Brotherhood Workshop. They used to do Lord of the Rings stop motions back in the day. I think they still do them now, but they're really fucking good, like really, really good, like stupid funny and all that too. But yeah, that has nothing to do with this.
I think this is going to fly off the shelves day one, though. I think you're going to have queues for this. If it's anything like Barad Dur, when me and Josh went to Southampton to go and buy Barad Dur, the chaos of that day, we got there a little bit late and the line was still out the door. We got there an hour after the store opened, and the line was genuinely from the till out the door. It was insane, and I think this will have a similar effect, mainly because it's a lot cheaper and a lot more affordable.
Yeah, I'll be going down to Bristol. I mean, I was about 10th in the queue for Barrador, but I'll be going down. Yeah, I could order it online, but I like to have it, get it.
I'd go and buy it in Egypt, but unfortunately they don't have a Lego store. So.
No.
A Lego store up here doesn't open for another 4 months or 5 months. So.
Oh, Ireland's getting their first Lego store, aren't they?
Up in Belfast. Yeah. There is 2 Lego stores down in Dublin, but I'm not.
Oh, what? So there's Lego stores in Northern. There's no Lego stores in Northern Ireland, but there is in Southern Ireland.
Yeah, down in Dublin City.
Republic.
Yeah, but I'm not traveling down there.
Is it just Dublin or anywhere
Southern
else?
Ireland, let's be honest, boys.
There's 2 in Dublin, but they're like kind of a bit of a distance away.
Right.
But this one's going to be pretty
2
close.
in Bristol now, so
Yeah, Bristol's got one.
That half the queues, hopefully.
Cribbs Causeway, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the outskirts of Bristol, yeah.
I'm just
Cribbs
looking at
Causeway.
it. I'm just looking at this compared to Rivendell, and I'm just trying to suss out the size. I'm looking at the figs next to Rivendell and looking at the figs next to this, and I'm like trying.
Yeah,
to
I was
suss
trying to
out
count
how
the
big
studs
this is gonna be.
along, from one end to the other.
It's obviously going to be smaller than the Cantina.
Oh,
like the footprint of this, like it's going to be a lot smaller. I'm like, this is going to fit well on like a guitar amp. This is small.
I think this is. I don't know if anyone's got it. I think this is going to be similar comparison size to the Viking Village.
I'm getting
That's what I think the size is going to be similar to the Viking Village. Now, the Viking Village is one of Lego's own IP, so it was a lot cheaper. But because this is a trademarked IP, I think, and we know that's where a lot of money comes from, I think it's going to be that size, which I think is a reasonable size for this set.
Anyway, are we all Lord of the Rings out?
Martin, you are the Sean of this fucking cohort, aren't you? You just can't stand it, can you? You're having a brain aneurysm listening to us talk about Lord of the Rings.
No, not at all. I respect it because I love the films. I respect it because I love the films, and I do respect the sets. And I obviously said from the start that I'm glad that they're doing it right with this theme, and they're taking their time and doing good quality sets, and they're aiming for adults. There is something there for kids and families, but they're clearly aiming for adults because most kids wouldn't have a clue what this is, right? Because it doesn't. Lord of the Rings, for all intents and purposes, doesn't have the echo in sort of through other sort of age groups like Star Wars has. So 9 times out of 10, you ask a kid at 7 or 8 year olds, they still know what Star Wars is now, even though they've probably never seen a film. But they'll know what it is, right? But Lord of the Rings, not so much. But I think it's right. I think they've tapped into the adult market, and okay, we always want more. We'll always want something more. But I like the way they've taken their time and done it right. With this, they've taken their time because I think it's the first time they're able to do that rolling hillside properly with Lego parts, which they probably wouldn't have been able to do before. Certainly not on the last version because it just looks like a caravan essentially. But no, I think
also quick one. The whether Lord of the Rings becomes a full-fledged theme also hinges on how well the Hunt for Gollum does in 2027. If that film bangs, and does really well, I guarantee you Lego will go, yeah, boom, we're going to capitalize on that.
I actually only heard about that film the other day. I didn't even know. Yeah,
it was supposed to come out next year, but it comes out the year after now. It's been delayed.
One thing I will say.
Earmark it to talk about in a future episode because I'd like to hear more about that because I don't know jack shit about it. So, but we'll add it on to a future episode. Go on, sorry, Matt.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say because obviously it's aimed for adults and kids couldn't really afford, but you stuck that in front of a kid, they would play with it, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. But at the same time, parents aren't going to pay that much money for something like this when they don't. It hasn't got that staying power. But what I'm saying is, I think it's right that they're they are catering to the adults who they know have now got, as Padawan put it, disposable income for this kind of stuff.
I just want to.
I just want to segue a little bit and have like a little bit of engagement for the chat, and I'm going to share something here. So, panel, if you know the answer, say nothing. But I found this little Lego mock, and I sent it to my dad. See, I knew he'd find this cool. But what I want you to do, guys, first person in the chat to guess the movie, and I won't keep it up for long. Right, let me know when you can see it. First person to guess. No, don't say it if you know it, but guess.
Oh yeah, it's Return of the King.
No, if you know, you know. It is. I'll tell you, it is. It isn't Lord of the Rings.
No,
is it not?
Is it?
No.
I thought that was the climb up to Kill a Thungle.
Really
is it Harry Potter?
No.
I can't.
Come on, this is supposed to be.
I can't really see.
Supposed to be engaging for the chat because I want to try and keep them.
What?
Ahsoka?
I'm sorry. That is
the chat. Just put your hand up if you know it.
What I'm going to do is, if you get it right, Muttley, well done, Highlander.
Bollocks, mate. So they're climbing up the stairs to Kill a Thungle. You've just thrown Lambus bread off it, and there's Frodo out at the top, and Samwise is on his way back down. Bullshit. That is Return of the King. Probably not. You probably didn't mean Kit Claflin, but that is Return of the King.
No, this is.
It definitely looks like Return of the King.
This is Ramirez. This is the guy he's fighting, and this is Christopher Lambert, and they're wearing all the right colours as well. What colours are you supposed to be in?
He's not going to let that go.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, the person who shared this said it as well, because this is the scene where the castle completely falls apart.
That's it. You don't believe me.
So well done, Muttley. Obviously,
I remember that film.
Oh yeah, the Stallone film. What an ass! So bad.
I thought that was pretty cool, especially because they used that illegal technique to put that side panel there. I don't even know why that's there. Probably just tried to keep it in place, but
fucking Lambus bread.
But no,
Lambus bread.
Yeah, you are kind of right though. But I think because I honestly don't know.
You've even got the medium. Is it medium nougat stud to represent the ginger hair? I'm not having it, mate.
That's awesome. He's not gonna have it.
It's weird. It's weird how that it can. Now that you're saying it's weird how it could potentially be two things. But the guy who shared it, honestly, he was making Highlander. So
no man.
Honestly, the bottom bunch of studs could be Samwise. The second one up can be Frodo, and then the grey one could be Gollum. Throw in the Lambus bread at the bottom on their way up to Kill a Thungle. That is Return of the King. I'm not having it.
Yeah. But I guess have you seen this scene in Highlander?
To be fair, you'd have to refresh me because I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, it's great. The first film cam is great.
I'll say now that I've seen both, so I'm probably I'm the only person able to say from truth what I think it actually is. Now you've said that about the Lambus bread, I'm on the fence, but it is supposed to be Highlander. So yeah, I'll have to get back to that guy and be like,
what's the scene called, so I can just pull it up so I can have a reference.
It is. I don't know what the scene's called, but this is basically when.
Describe it.
So Christopher Lambert has got like long ginger hair, and he's wearing a green kilt. In this scene, Ramirez, which is played by Sean Connery, is wearing a red outfit, and he's fighting against this big dude who's like wearing grey armor, I believe. Hence the colours of the studs, and the whole thing falls apart, and they're fighting each other at the very top while he's further down. So
trying to find this scene.
A big shout out to Clancy Brown, brilliant. Love that actor.
Clancy Brown, that's yeah. He's still in
it's funny as well. You had a Belgian playing a Scotsman and a Scotsman playing a Spanish.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
And as usual, Sean Connery just played it as Sean Connery.
All I know is that Highlander's directed by Russell Mulcahy, an Australian, I believe. he also did a bunch of music videos in the 80s, so he kind of revolutionized music videos back then. That's all I know. Like, that's all I know about this film. Like,
we should ask
the film itself.
I love the
We should ask Mayo. Mayo must know the answer. Mayo, do you got a spin on this? Have you seen both films?
Probably thought it was Crocodile Dundee or something like that.
I haven't seen anything Lord of the Rings ever.
You need to go and re-educate yourself then, don't you?
Have you seen Highlander?
No.
Yeah.
Well, banging soundtrack.
I'm pretty sure that this piece down here is supposed to be Ramirez's head. Because you can only get the power of another person by chopping their head off. But no, you say about the Lambert spread thing, and I remember that scene, and you kind of, I can see what you're saying. But if you see I
can
Queen
see
did the
that
whole soundtrack
perfectly.
Queen did so many good soundtracks. Well, was it?
They did,
Flash?
But that was Flash.
Yeah, that's it.
But, no,
the soundtrack to my life.
But for that film, Highlander was a banging soundtrack.
Yeah, I'm going to try and find this scene now. But yeah, so that was a bit of comic relief anyway, just something different. And then I've got one other piece of comic relief. Let me see if I can find it.
Google, by the way, whenever you want to shoot that.
I've got some comic relief as well.
What's that?
What you bloody sent me. And actually, while Cam's here as well, because he'll find it funny. Where is it?
Have you got it to share? Yeah.
Is this NS?
What the?
Not safe for
Stop sending me these bloody things. He sent me a video where they deep fried, not actual crocs, but things that are the shape of crocs and you can eat them.
Oh, nice. Very disgusting.
Right, here's the next one, guys.
Oh, yeah. What is Mayo, though? Mayo, are you crocs or no crocs?
I haven't ever worn them.
Good lad.
Life becomes just different when you put a set of Crocs on.
He could be turned, by the way. He has never worn them yet.
What is going on here?
The only good thing about the edible ones is that they come out the other end of what they are. A piece of... I do.
This is the weakest link. No, not the weakest link. What's the one with Terry? Can't remember his name now. Did you ever see this episode? I remember seeing this episode.
No.
Who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be a millionaire? The guy is asked. Boba Fett is a bounty hunter character from which series? And he's and I think he goes for Hunger Games to the point where he doesn't use any of his lifelines either.
Oh.
And what an idiot. So I found this little thing on Instagram the other day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta share that," because I always remember finding that funny.
Is that the same show where the guy got caught cheating, coughing to win the £1 million?
Yeah, years ago, yeah. It's funny because I remember years ago when it first, was quite new, and there was a question about like what ship did Han Solo, and I'm screaming at the telly, and the poor woman didn't have a clue.
So I got one more thing to share, guys, and before I share this, I just need to it needs to come with a disclaimer, stroke warning. It's quite distasteful, potentially. So, no word of a lie. I took this photo today. We went for a walk, me, my daughter, and my fiance, just down to the beach, which is like a stone's throw away from where I live. So we went down to the waterfront, down to the beach, and I don't know do we have a banner for it? Was
that what you asked me? What's occurring?
No, that was just for people to share anything else. But no, I didn't do one for this because basically we were walking back and I saw this just outside a skip. It looked like someone had basically thrown this item away. I don't know whether the birds or somebody else had been ripping open the bags. So I sent a picture of it to my mum with the words, have you had any problems with the binman collecting rubbish? Because they haven't collected my rubbish. Look, now the birds have ripped it open. And I no word of a lie, this is what I saw today. And I've never seen one of these in real life. Trying to explain to my daughter tried to explain to my daughter what it was. It was quite difficult, but this is what I saw today, guys, earlier today.
It's a massive penis.
Close.
Surely not good.
Yeah, I'd get that out and clean it.
That is right. That is disgusting.
So yeah, so I sent that to my mum, and I thought it was actually Kirsty's
What, the
idea.
actual
She
thing?
said- no, she said send a note to your mum saying what did I say to my mum now? Let me just pull it up. So I put have you had a problem with your bins not being collected? They haven't collected ours. Now the animals have ripped the bag open. And she went. She just messaged straight back. You should have double bagged that. Oh, class.
Great sense of humour then.
Oh yeah, she didn't. She wasn't phased by it at all. But I said the same thing. I said there'll be people out there who will have. I bet if I go back there tomorrow and check, it's gone. Someone will have
Slurpy's
cleaned
got
that
one behind his wall of boxes.
Welcome to our stream, Mayo.
Don't out me like that.
And Oaktown, I apologise if that was completely sort of shell shocking for you, but
He's scarred
Yeah.
for
You
life now.
So you
think
found
that
that by the
also-
trash?
no, it was just on the pavement, basically next
Oh
to a
my
skip.
god, that's crazy.
Not my trash, by the way.
Bring to Brick World. Ask him for a friend.
No, fuck in hell.
Yeah. No,
£5 a pop for a go. 10 minutes.
Stop trespassing on my building sites. It's £7 a go. Only Lego
mate, you
pieces
put the
you'll
bar
find
right
in
up
there.
now. There's nothing, when you say, oh, we can't put this, or, well, that's it. Put anything we want now on here.
I'm just trying
This
to.
has turned
I'm
into
just
an episode of Pure Amp Fury now, isn't it? You're just gonna get absolutely shadow banned.
Oh, I tell you what, I've got one more. Because I want to segue into something else a bit later, but I've got one more to help. Now, I've been trying to think of a way to do an outro for this show, and I couldn't think of anything where, like, I send a message. I was thinking of having the banner again at the end with our faces on. I don't know. I wasn't sure, but I saw this and I thought, ooh, this might be good. I'll just throw this up as a visual at the end of each episode. So starting next week, guys, let me know in the chat if you think this would be good. Yeah, Segway City Generaltron. But we'll get back to some topics now. If you guys think this would be a good idea to throw up on the screen as a kind of outro.
What?
What?
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
What?
No?
You're so old.
Stay fresh.
What? Do you not think we can make that our slogan for saying goodbye?
You're so old.
No.
What the?
Stay fresh, cheese bags. I thought it was
It
amazing.
was like, was it from that film? Is it Stay
Lose my
Classy?
number.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, eat fresh, stay fresh.
It's cheese
Anyway,
bags.
so that's it. That's it from my side.
We shut that one down.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
here, fuck, we got this instead. The logo.
This has to be the most unusual stream actually this week.
This
Yeah.
is why Martin
Well,
doesn't
I'll
do his
explain.
own graphic design.
Yeah.
Imagine this bit says "Stay fresh, cheese bags."
I thought it was hilarious, but obviously small minds. Yeah, so
Well,
if we put
that's my favourite character. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
yeah, so it's got Han, it's got Luke, and it's got my favorite character as well.
Is that Imper's Nest?
Got- Yeah.
Oh, throwaway
So-
character.
So they should have done more. But no, I was just thinking we could pop our sort of faces along here somewhere. I don't know. We need to do something with it because George did a fantastic job of this, but I just haven't been able to.
It's
I
really
don't know
good.
what.
We need to get our heads like photoshopped onto Lego people do, like not like real heads, just our faces. You know, like make it look terrifying.
Could you imagine getting just a plain minifig head, and then pad printing our face onto a minifig head?
Yeah,
I've seen it done. Like I've seen people do it with faces, and it's mortifying, but it's too funny. I think we should do that. Like even for the logo, like just printing it would be. Oh, here's the sig fig, me.
Yeah, true to life face. And
You have to get one of those beard pieces for yours, though. Mine.
Yeah, I need to try and grab one. Okay, so should we do?
Hey, who did this? Who shout out who it was? George.
This
Britton
was
that
George.
designed this.
George Britton, yeah, UK boys chat. I think he kind of reached out to me after a show when I was talking about like trying to do something, and he put this together for me, obviously with those three characters on purposely. And I was just like, yeah, this looks amazing, but I'm just thinking, I'm not really sure what to do with it. The other thing is, he sends it to me on email, and I can't download it to my phone. So this is just a screenshot of me opening it in the email. So I don't know whether it's because the file's too big or what, but I can't work out how to, send the raw footage. But I might have to just forward the email onto you, Slurpy, and see if you can do something with it. But
this is my sig fig. I identify as a velociraptor. I am a sig fig. This is me.
A grey one. A grey one. Is that what you'd be giving out at Brickworld?
Yeah, just grey velociraptors. I don't even know what this is from. I'm assuming it's Jurassic Park.
So so what do we want to do then? March 1st sets. The only one I've got on here is the only one we've got a visual of is the Jurassic Park bone thingy. I just don't know whether anybody, because again, not interested in this whatsoever in terms of purchasing it, but I can look at it and think, wow. And again, Jurassic Park fans, I think they're still, because it's dinosaurs and kids, especially boys, love dinosaurs at the moment. I think it'll always have a place. But in terms of looking for, that money, those deep wallets of those grown-up adults who kind of grew up on Jurassic Park, I think they're trying to do the right thing here. What do you guys think of this? Was this a standout set, March the 1st? Was for me.
It looks cool.
I don't care. That sounds horrible, but I saw it and I was like, okay, looks nice, but I don't really. I thought it was a mock at first, but
it does look nice. Yeah, for people who like Jurassic Park, I think it'd be quite nice with their collection.
Yeah. I guess by the resounding applause to this, it's a no-go then. It's a bit of a stinker. So did anybody?
It's nothing against the film or anything like that. I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. Like
I can appreciate it. I can appreciate it.
But the whole point of this was basically to usher in any conversation, because I think March 1st sets were talked about to death. We're not a kind of leaks channel here where we kind of talk the shit out of everything that's coming out, unless it's maybe Star Wars. But I didn't know whether anybody had picked anything up on March the 1st or had a standout set. Was March the 1st worth talking about, or should we just move on?
For Star Wars, we only got the one, didn't we, this year? So.
Yeah, I can't even remember what it was.
The helmet.
Oh, of course, yeah.
AT-AT pilot.
Yeah, I'm not a helmet person either, so that was kind of blah me. But
it looks good, but it feels like the opinions on that helmet set have like somewhat soured since its release. Like I think it was like super hyped up, and then people were like, "Oh damn, it isn't as fantastical as we thought it was." I still think it looks really good, and one of the better helmets.
I don't think bad about it, apart from the stickers.
I think the gap down the middle
that it looks pretty good.
Has annoyed people. But I
think if
I don't think you can really
helmet,
do much more.
Then I probably would get it, but
I think what Nimble's saying here is pretty much echoing what I think. March was kind of sad, pretty dead, and I don't like F1 either, so it was kind of like take it or leave it.
I'm only going to get the Ferrari. I'm not a. I've been psyoped from a young age.
I'm gonna get them all.
Yeah, so some people saying they'll wait for a sale. Some people are going to buy it, but it's not kind of, don't seem to be getting the juice.
It's criminal behaviour that we don't get the 10-pack Formula One speed champs.
Oh, don't we?
No, we don't get. It's an American or a North American only one thing.
Oh, right.
We don't get it. It's an Amazon exclusive, but they don't sell it over here. It's the same with the 3-in-1 packs. The fact that we don't get 3-in-1 packs, or even the 6 boxes, you can buy like the 6-pack of CMFs. You can't buy them on Lego.com here either.
By the way, the ATAP pilot helmet, how much is that here? Because Jang said it was...
It's like 60 quid.
Right, because Jang was saying it was 70 quid, which he said which is equivalent to $88, which he said is disgusting.
£70. That's £70 here. Oh, $69.99. Yeah.
So it's more expensive here than what it is in America then.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. It's annoying. Like, I always get frustrated at the May the 1st threshold, which is the same in dollars as in pounds. But obviously they're getting, more for their... So I think one year it was like, let's say, for argument's sake, it was $150 to get the 3 GWPs. And then over here it was £150. But yet the sets were... And I was just like, well, that don't make any sense. So, I don't know. I don't really get that.
Well, we spoke... Cam, we've spoken that before, haven't we? Where they, you do the... work out how much. It's like, well, no, we should be paying that, but no, we're paying more. So
it's because we pay VAT. So we pay 20% on top, which is European tax. I voted Brexit, but we're still paying European tax. Banter. Anyway, non-political. But
so March 1st, should we bury it with these bones?
Formula One was still the fucking best thing to come out of this.
I don't care about Formula One, so.
Yeah,
you're not old enough to watch it.
And not only that, F1, Formula One, it's more like FU to me. But it's like everybody's done it, so I'm not even going to touch it because it's being done to death. Everywhere I look, I'm seeing Formula One. So there's respect for Formula One.
I was supposed to go on the ACOB show to watch that, to talk about it, but I was asleep, so I didn't go on it.
There seems to be a real, not even aside from the Lego sets, but I'm seeing a lot more F1 content. Full stop. Like other kind of hobbies and all, and it's like
Drive to Survive came out, and all the Americans now think they own F1.
I was like, oh, that's finally cool. And it's like, bro, I've seen it on the Sunday TV for fucking most of my life, or heard it. Like it's.
You can't please everyone. I mean, there's some people out there that don't like Star Wars or don't like Lord of the Rings, but like F1. So,
the reason why a lot of people didn't watch F1 is because it's gatekept by Sky Sports. Like how the football's always on like ITV or BBC, so you can watch it for free, whereas you can't watch Formula One for free. That's why the sports gatekept to like, the normal people, because no one wants to spend £50 a month to watch Sky Sports.
Everybody, just bear in mind. Just bear in mind at the moment, guys, while we're talking here, Austin is actually in the shower listening to the show. So if anybody wants to send him out a private message.
Send me a loan.
Yeah. Let's get a photo sent in to prove that you're in the shower.
No, because he will.
Austin, clean yourself this time.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
I'm going to just pick up the Ferrari F1. That'll be just one I pick up. I like
the Ferrari F1 is naughty. But I'm a Red Bull fan. I really want the Red Bull.
But 50 gazillion stickers is dicey to me. Like I see them all and like, should I just do a stickerless build or like? Oh,
does every changing subject wildly? Does everybody here remember Soap on the Rope?
Yes, I do. I had an R2D2.
Didn't you get one for Christmas every year? I had a BA Baracus one. It was amazing. But I mean, obviously, he was like, the soap was brown color, because obviously he's represented by a black guy. But after like a couple of dozen uses, it was just basically a big brown lump on a piece of rope, and it just kind of looked awful hanging in the shower. So I ended up slinging it. But I don't think they really thought that through. But yeah, Ostiff. Let's do the Ostiff. Should we do the Ostiff section? Let's do the Ostiff section.
Do it. That's what I've been waiting for.
Hold on.
So guys, without going into too much detail, because I don't know how much of it, I mean, most of us on the panel know, but without going into too much detail about Ostiff's current situation, he's unable to stream as he normally would, join in to this kind of thing as he probably normally would like to. due to sort of personal circumstance. But he has asked us, and obviously, I offered him the opportunity to kind of send out a kind of PSA for his show, which we're going to do now. So if you haven't already, go and subscribe to the Brick Connection. You can also listen to it on Slippery When Wet. Yeah, pan down.
Christ.
Nice.
Oh, gross. Okay,
So
so
roll the video.
Yeah, not yet. Just let me finish my my spiel. So if you haven't already, subscribe to Brick Connection. You can also find the podcast on Spotify and a few other places. I think Apple as well. But yeah, guys, go and check it out. It's a regular show. It's a bit more serious than what he does here, what we do here. It's one-on-one with individual people in the community, covering different areas of the community. So Mark, streaming, building, podcast, whatever. And obviously it's more of a kind of, it's obviously informal still, but it's more of a kind of austere, putting questions sort of like a, more like a chat show, but a formal chat show, if you like, sort of. So I actually enjoy watching it. It's very listen friendly as well. So go and check it out. And obviously there's not going to be a show for a couple of weeks. The details will be in the video now. If you might need to pause it, because I think one of the slides with a huge piece of description about what's going on flashes up really quickly, so you might not actually get to see it. I don't think we can pause it.
Without going into too much detail, no, I haven't got a clue. I've heard something's happened, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he wants yet, but I don't think it's necessarily relevant. I just think that it's I think it's all right, when you're kind of new in the community, and I'm only sort of guessing this, when you're kind of new in the community and you're kind of on an upward slope because you've started something off and then something happens and stops you from doing that, it's very easy for people to just kind of, it to fall off. We've been quite fortunate here that from day one, we've kind of never missed an episode, or never missed a time slot essentially, because otherwise it wouldn't be an episode. But obviously he's had that, and obviously it could happen to any of us, but he just wants to make sure that, he keeps people, appetites wet. So yeah, so let's roll it.
Oh yeah,
sweet, clean.
Nice.
Take care, Austin.
I gotta say though, he put more work into the editing and creation of that video than we've probably put into all 23 of our shows put together. So fair play to him. But
so when he says the guest call Luke hand bricks, is that just you or is that all of us?
Good question. No, I think it's just, I don't know, because he hasn't actually asked me it. He's mentioned I'm going to be on, but he didn't ask me. It was just kind of, yeah, I got you lined up, and I'm like, okay. But I did say I'd go on whenever I can. I think it's a time thing with us more than anything else.
Sorry, me and Slurpy know we're not wanted.
We're not cool enough. We're not cool enough yet.
No.
I was going to say Padawan haven't been on the show yet either. You would have thought he'd be first guest. But
yeah, I thought there'd be maybe.
Not that important. Do you know what I mean?
He's playing hard
I thought
to get.
there would be some other type of tape going on there. You know what I mean? But
he hasn't even asked me.
Mate, he's doing a whole live show in the Rennie room with him. So watch out for that one.
Only fans, obviously. Get your subscriptions in while you can, boys.
But three things to take away.
Let's go, boys.
three things to take away from that, guys, is obviously there's merch coming as a bit of a sort of juicy nug. There's a lineup of guests that he's got coming soon. And if you want to see any more information or some of those larger pieces of information that you put in there, you can check out that on his YouTube channel, I believe, in his community tab, and also on Instagram, I believe, as well. Both of those messages have been thrown up. So if you want to see more detail about that, go there. But yeah, what's he putting? Big live episode for all three together. Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to do the UK. He's going to do the UK connection quicker than any other unnamed chat show would do it.
Oh yeah.
We're still waiting for our UK show from a certain.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was alluding to. But yeah. Anyway.
Talking about
good. So good luck, Austin, with the new job, and hope everything goes well with your personal situation and back up and running very soon. Sorry, Martin. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I was just saying because just a little bit of sad news today, even though it's only temporary. But Hive's taking a break in here for a little bit from Good Morning Brickworld.
Yeah, he's been talking about doing that for a while.
But because obviously it's nice. He did laugh when I said that. It's nice that we can, we watch it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 2 a.m. in the morning. But obviously he's got things, his life and stuff. So. My thoughts go out with him and stuff, but yeah, that's well, one more thing I forgot to say today.
Good idea, Shreddy.
Mario Day.
Oh, is it March the 1st?
No, March the 10th, isn't it?
We should have done a special Mario. We should have done a special Mario episode today.
I forgot to say earlier. I completely forgot it.
Cool how we would have just shit on the theme even more.
Oh yeah.
I got absolutely
great point.
I got absolutely patted in that episode, pinned to the wall. But I tried my best.
Mario can only redeem itself if they do figures with like actual fingers instead of like minifigure hands. That's what that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I think you saw my stream today. Did you Slurpy of Avatar?
Yeah, goodness me. But no more Mario.
No more Mario. No.
But no, Austin, looking forward to the return. You take your time, Stay stiff, obviously, and the shoes. I can't catch it.
Oh yeah, but America is the time.
But... Sometimes you just need a break. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I make stupid ass videos every day, and I was like, you know what? I need a break. I burn out hell big time.
So I'm just going through the list. Okay, edible Crocs.
Andor.
Yeah, do you want to do Andor next, or you can take this one, mate, because it's yours. Mayo, you still alive?
Is dead, mate.
Gone to sleep.
Is Mayo still there?
He's fell asleep big time.
That's from Matt. I just wanted to see if he has any interest in Andor at all.
Oh well,
I haven't finished season 1 yet.
Oh wait, we're about to ruin. We're about to ruin it for you then.
Well, not really. It's not gonna.
Darth Vader is Luke's father.
No, this is spoiler free because obviously we don't know anything any more than anybody else. And if you've seen the trailers, it shows you a whole bunch of kind of nothing. But I tell you what, though,
people's thoughts were.
In terms, I was going to say the only thing I'll say about this to start it off, and then I'll hand it over to Martin because obviously this is the segment he wanted to do. Is that the trailer for this reminded me back of Star Wars movie trailers. When I remember seeing the Phantom Menace, I was in college at the time, but I remember seeing Phantom Menace trailer come out. By the time it obviously did come out, I'd left college, I started working, had my own place or whatever. But I remember the trailer coming out about a year or so before, which they did back then, and being like, "What?" I taped it on VHS and watched that trailer over and over again. But it was just the hype, just the way they shot it, and it's just showing all these action scenes. And I got that. I got those feels again with Andor season 2, where it just showed all these little snippets, and I was just like, "Yes, I'm in for this. I'm in for it."
Can I just say I haven't seen the trailer?
Oh,
But I've done that on purpose because Disney have got a reputation recently of leaking all the main important shit in the trailer.
They don't really, mate. It's just very quick. Very quick.
Doesn't do
walking
that.
down a corridor, walking down. They don't.
They've gone.
They didn't
really
go
good.
full. They didn't go full. Like the worst Star Wars trailer, I think, is Attack of the Clones. It spoils the whole fucking plot. I inquire everyone. They don't go that far with this. It's pretty like. It's pretty mysterious.
This is literally teaser. There might be another trailer. But...
On a quick sidebar before we start, if anyone out there hasn't seen Captain America: Brave New World, just watch the trailer and that's the film done.
Yeah.
Oh right, because I haven't seen it.
They spoiled the whole film. All the main parts of the film were spoiled in the trailer.
Don't know why they do that. But no, as the trailer goes, I like the trailer, but I did hear certain people moan about the music, but it's like, well, that's not going to be the music in the show. That's just for the trailer. So but it's more about as well. They did like a 2-minute sort of behind the scenes sort of thing, where you could see sometimes the camera and stuff. I think that showed more. But there was one thing I was going to mention. So Cam, you might want to stick your fingers in your ears then and not look.
Go on, just roll with it. If people say it's not leaking that much, and I'm not really that. I'm not.
It's not really leak. It's more of a sort of they kind of proved Lego a little bit right, if I say in a certain way. I'm gonna full screen myself. If that's okay. So obviously, if you've seen, have you all seen the behind the scenes? It's only about 2 minutes.
I haven't seen it.
Right, well, watch it and you'll know what I mean. Because last year they brought out a certain figure, and everyone, which is this one.
Oh, I know.
Everyone moaned about it being green. Well, you wait until you see it is spitting image.
Yeah. So Lego
it
must have
is
seen
very much like that, very green this time round.
So I don't think that's class. That's not class as spoiler. We all knew he was going to be in it.
Well, no, but
the colour of his clothes means
some
nothing.
People might. But it's just, I just find it really funny, and I thought I got to bring that up because lots of people moaned about obviously the colour of it last year. But then when I saw the trailer, I thought, that's quite either. The director thought, let's now they've done a figure like that, we better put him in the group now. But
Padawan raw dog in Andor.
But it really looks very much like it now. I mean, it's quite hard to get that colour that he had anyway, but
it was a weird green.
I just find it really funny now that it. So if you see it, Slurpy, you'll know what I mean.
I know. I seen there's a post I seen online about people saying, "Oh, the minifigure's actually accurate to the TV show."
So it's not just me then. So right.
Yeah, no. As soon as you were on a bit like, I'm like, I haven't seen the trailer, but
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I know people like going on about this. The best Star. I mean, I don't totally agree. It's my own take that it's the best Star Wars ever, but I am looking forward to it.
When's it out?
Next month. Sometime?
Yes. Let me see what day in April.
I thought it was April 23rd because I remember saying
to me, and don't
April 22nd.
But to me, Star Wars is like I always like the sort of the mythical side of it, like the sabers and all that. So to me, this is like, even though it's great Star Wars, it's like the least Star Wars to me, if you know what I mean. I know that don't sound right, but
you're not wrong. It goes. There's a rabbit hole because Tony Gilroy, who was brought in to do Rogue One, he kind of I think, writ or directed parts of it in Andor. I don't think he cares for Star Wars mythology. I think he's kind of said that maybe in interviews, like he just.
But he does still make it still feel, and obviously you have to storm.
Fucking good. It's really good. It gets. I mean, it's fantastic.
And I think it's good that they do this. I don't want every single thing now looking, like this. But I think for what it is, it's really still brilliant. I mean, it's hard for me to explain that. Saying.
Would you realize he also did the Bourne, or I think wrote the Bourne films? The Matt Damon.
Oh right, no, I didn't know that.
That's like I can see.
So comparison, I like this kind of Star Wars. That's great, but also I also like the Skeleton Crew kind of Star Wars as well. So it's nice.
I was going to say I like this whole espionage kind of spy thriller type style that they've got going on with this. It's different, but it's still Star Wars. So yeah,
that's what I mean. But not make everything now like this.
Yeah,
it would take it away from it.
I wouldn't want them to, because I think it's so unique that it's like if they try to do another show like Andor, it's going to be compared to it. And Andor was a slow burn. It took me a while to like it, but because I think the one thing that this show does really good in, I know Saw Gerrera's in it, but there's not a lot of like Star Wars, like Rogue One. I have issues with it. Like, we'll throw in Dr. Evazan, and Ponda Baba. It's like, did they need to be there? Like, just wee kind of throwbacks. But do we think we'll get like Darth Vader and Palpatine in this in some shape? Like legacy characters that may tie in. Like, part of me's like, I do want them to, but I don't at the same time. I know Krennic's...
The only one I'm wondering is if we're going to get oh god, what's his name? Jin's dad, Gale.
Gale and Urso.
Yeah.
Galen, yeah.
Or at least a mention, anyway. Maybe not a cameo, but...
Yeah, I think because for me, Saw Gerrera is a key character, and I like his sort of what do they call them? They're rebels, but I can't remember what they call. They're kind of they're quite aggressive in their tactics.
Yeah,
but I like
guerrilla warfare.
Parasat.
He's a rebel.
No, you're right. You're wrong. I had it on the tip of my tongue there, Ryan.
Yeah, I will say Parasat, but it's not that.
Partisans.
That's it.
So,
and also the actor's got a great surname. No relation, but.
Yeah, I never even trigged that before, but yeah.
Spells it with one T.
But no. So what are we saying? Oaktown. What do you think? I know you said you haven't finished season 1, but what are you thinking of the show overall?
It's pretty cool. I've watched I think around 4 of the episodes. It's pretty interesting. It's definitely a slow burn.
Yeah. I think you definitely need to watch the first 3 together.
I watched the first 2 and then the 3rd and 4th.
I think it's very progressive, and like people want like action, excitement, but I think it's that kind of that slow kind of build up into like that 10, because some of those scenes towards the end when they finally pull off what they pull off, and not without going into too much detail, are really tense, and you're on the edge of your feet like, oh, this has got to go right now because of everything that's built up into it. If they dive straight into that, something like that, yeah, the action would be better, but you just wouldn't be on the edge of your seat, and I prefer that. I prefer like a build-up to something.
It's very character-based. You had to get to know the like a lot of these programs now they come out, you don't give a crap about the characters, but here,
yeah, they definitely did some character building, and they focused on a small amount of characters without trying to tap in too much to be like Star Wars by having like a droid and a protocol droid. And they didn't try and do that, which I feel like other places do.
The one like visual criticism I would give of Andor, and this is like kind of minor, and it was like people like to say, oh, they're running around with AK-47s. Well, the Empire was using World War II German weaponry. I don't really care too much for bricks and screws. I just wish there was more aliens just populating the planet and a bit more of the atmosphere.
That's like when Skeleton Crew came out. It was going, aliens! They've got aliens in it.
But
that's
just felt
that's
like
that's what I mean by when I said it's Star Wars, but it's the least Star. It's
I just think a lot of Star Wars shows could take cues from this.
But it's nice that they are doing. Like I said, this is fine as long as they don't do everything now like it. So
yeah, I just think in terms of character development and stuff like that, a lot of other Disney shows, I wish Andor came out first, and it's like we could have got better TV for other shows, but.
Well, I'll say this: I'm going to binge the first season again, and hopefully try and get Kirsty to.
I will be as well.
I get Kirsty to watch it because I know that she would enjoy this because it's Star Wars, but different enough to enjoy. And I'm going to try and get her into it. But we're going to watch this season 1 again as close as I possibly can. The only thing I get annoyed about with these shows is where the kind of to try and have a worldwide release, it's kind of like stupid o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it's been like midnight, sometimes it's been 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why they bother with that whole thing. I don't think I get the whole. They don't want to spoil it for people. There's always going to be people who are going to watch it while other people are sleeping.
Yeah.
So no matter what you do, there's always going to be that anyway. So I don't really get that. But it is annoying when you're like, oh, I've got to stay up till midnight to watch it, or I've got to get up early at 8 o'clock in the morning to watch it.
Oh,
so
I think the difference definitely with Andor as well is that most Star Wars, let's be honest, it has humor in it. Now this doesn't really have much humor.
No,
it's very serious, very
no.
Can I just shout out Nimble? Nimble says he's heading to bed here. For everyone
good night, Nimble.
Still watching, like Nimbles, I hope you're not drifted away to sleep yet. But I believe Bluestone episode 6 comes out tomorrow on his YouTube channel. So
I saw that. Yeah, 8
shout
p.m.
out to Nimble too. Yeah, everyone get on it. 8 p.m. UK time.
I'm working so I'll watch it when I get home.
So ta-ra.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I always like the Nimble one. I always like the Nimble.
After 4 weeks, bloody hell.
But can I ask though? This is the thing I want. Like Andor, it's like an episode a week or whatever. So this show, Andor season 2, is going to continue over when we're at Brickworld and stuff like that. Like, how many episodes is season 2 going to have? Is it still going to have 12, or is it no?
I've heard the rumor is at the moment, right? If this is wrong, but what I've heard is that they're going to be bringing out 3 episodes a week, and it's going to be each year.
You're right. Oh my days. 3 episodes April 22nd, 3 episodes April 29th, May 6th, and May 13th.
And it's supposed to jump like each year, each time.
Oh, right. That's interesting that they're going that approach. Yeah, you're not, according to Wikipedia, which isn't the most reliable source ever, supposed to be, every 3 episodes a week. That's Saturday morning sorted anyway. Nah, no sweat, Nimble. Appreciate you always hanging around in the chat, and you're always shouting out our stuff, so we need to shout out yours.
Yeah, we always appreciate you, Nimble.
And Bluestone had the return a couple of weeks ago had a pretty damn high turnout too, so yeah, no, everyone get on it.
Keep with the droid thing though as well that you're doing. That's good.
Yeah.
So
there you go. That's all I want to really say about Andor, but I'm looking forward to it. So,
are you going to watch it at midnight, or are you going to watch it?
Is it midnight? Is it midnight?
It depends if I'm not at work next day at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then yeah, I probably will.
Is it a midnight showing though? Yeah, it is midnight. Is it? Oh, okay, that's what I was going to ask.
I assume, like last time, it'll probably be early hours in the morning, but. It's a bit of an event, these shows, though. Like, there's always a lot of Star Wars channels online that stream, because they come out live, you know. I know Shreddy. I think Shreddy, I don't want to be speaking for him, it comes out 6 p.m. my time, I believe. Oh, wow.
I'm sure Skeleton Crew's coming out before we got it, because I'm sure there was, like, some reviews out before I'd even bloody got up in the morning to watch it.
But I didn't want to watch that behind the scenes trailer. I kind of knew it was a behind the scenes, but I was like, I saw Saw Gerrera and I saw a couple of other wee things, but I'm like, if they release anything else,
it's just like a better trailer, really. It's just, but it don't really. Again, it doesn't spoil anything or whatever. You just sometimes see they just show like a camera there as well, so it looks like they're showing that they're filming it and things. And you'll get a couple of people talking, but yeah, I don't think there's really any spoilers in it.
Mayo, what do you think of Andor? Well said.
Was that him, or who was that?
Oh, where's the cam gone? Did he have to go?
He had to go.
No,
no,
I just took him off the screen. He's still there. I took him off the screen because I just didn't want to have 3 blank blocks on the screen. When there's nobody talking, I don't want to do that to Mayo because he's obviously the guest. But
hint.
But I can't. He did say it was 5:30 in the morning, right? When it started.
Yeah, it's hours ago. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whereabouts he lives at.
I always thought the timelines went in hour blocks. So if we started at 7, why was it half past the hour for him there? I always thought it went in hours. I didn't think it went in half-hour blocks.
Got left then, lads. It's all been
along
quite smoothly tonight.
The time Yeah, you're right, Pat. You're right. Oh, actually, if he lives in, I'm not saying, well, Adelaide, they're 10.5 hours ahead of us. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe he could
that'll be
be.
it then.
Yeah, I did. No, but you're not wrong. I thought that was the same too. I thought everywhere was like an hour, block like that. But
So what? Hang about. So what time would it be for him there then? Now, 10 hours ahead. 9.
if he's 8:21.
He's like 7. So yeah, you'd think he'd be more awake. But I suppose I don't know, either he stayed up all night or what. But anyway, fair play to him. But yeah, we'll leave him on in case he wakes back up. I like the fact that he started off the stream though by saying, you can't have any dead space. You can't have any dead space. And I stay. I can't remember what he said exactly, but he was talking about being on his streams, and I was just like, yeah, but gotta let him all Mayo. But
Classic Mayo.
Classic.
Right.
Like, go on. What's next?
I just got to go and take a tablet, so I'm just going to go. So don't boot me, right? But I'm going off for 2 secs, okay?
No sweat.
Ooh.
Well, hey, anyone in the chat want to talk about anything? Start a talk, and I'm usually busy. Anyone want to?
Yeah, let's throw it out there.
Anything? Because we kind of went through the main topics pretty quickly.
Yeah, I still want to know what Ostif meant earlier when he said, "I can help you out," but I didn't know what he was talking about. So yeah, I would like some help, mate. I like the stuff that you do for your channel. I'd like something like that for us or stroke me. But obviously, I'm not going to ask you to do that right now with everything going on. But when things are settled, mate, if you're still out there and you want to put together something as a kind of outro for us or something I can use for an intro to my own content, I really appreciate it. But we'll see. So, what else we got?
Actually, gone through. Well, you asked me for that. I don't know what that's about.
Right, let me do this then. So I wanted to do this, and I think it's only right considering it did help the channel out.
Oh, Padawan's back. Wants to say his.
Back.
He's back now. What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, imagine having to do a Zoom meeting in 10 minutes because work sucks. I was literally told them I'm busy. They're like, no, I can't wait. We've got to do this.
On the way.
Ooh.
He zoomed out.
He's
Hello?
doing the wave.
Okay, so Deb's in the chat for Padawan. We don't know whether that was his space. Oh, he's back. There you go.
He's back.
I froze. I don't know what was going on.
You went like that, mate.
Yeah. I said, imagine having to do a Zoom meeting in 10 minutes. Work sucks. But apparently it can't wait and it has to be sorted by tomorrow. And I was like, all right, sweet. So you got me for 5 minutes and then I've got to go.
No, you need to do what you need to do, mate.
Any last minute burners that I've missed?
Well, we were talking about
just finished
Andor.
off talking about Andor, and that was about it, really.
I'm looking forward to it. I love season 1. I'm really excited to watch season 2. I saw one little Easter egg in. Apparently, it was in the trailer, or it might have been in season 1. I missed it, but I saw. Apparently, you can see Padme's crown in the back of Luthen's shop.
Oh,
so her crown from when she was Queen of Naboo, that's in Luthen's shop, in his antique shop.
I do have a theory about is it the KS2 droid?
K2SO.
K2SO.
Yeah, K2S. That's it. Yeah, I have a theory, but I've kind of nicked it from someone. But yeah,
go on.
Throw it. Shoot us.
Well, there's a canon comic book about how he gets thing. Just say.
Oh right, so okay, so if it's come from that, then I don't know, but yeah, because obviously he's got quite a different personality, isn't he? Because they've done. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's the little droid, and it's his. They've taken his personality and put him into.
Oh yeah.
B.
Yeah, I
B2,
just think of
B1.
I think of Bob from reminds me a little bit of oh god, what was that Disney bloody space film? Ooh.
Oh, you're on about Treasure Planet?
No,
no.
It was like 1980. It was like it had a big bad droid in it called Maximus and Black Hole.
Yeah, Black Hole. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. Not the greatest movie, but had some fun robots in it.
Okay, so
Yeah, free promotion.
no, this is just something else. I found this picture in my phone today, and I thought I'd share it to the guys because this is the only crowd of people who might actually appreciate this. I drew for a competition years and years and years ago. So the theme was the new movie's coming out. This was obviously back in, I think, 2018, before the movie came out in 2019, and everybody said draw a comic rendition of what you think the movie's going to be. So obviously we had to take the Rise of Skywalker and do our own. So this was my artist impression of that. So yeah,
that's pretty good. It's pretty good actually.
I'm thinking now of something else you could have added to that picture as the Rise of Skywalker, but we'll leave it at that.
You dirty boy.
I gotta ruin it. But I even put look at the details. He's got an R2D2
I love the teddy, the Chewie teddy. That's class.
Just casually pitching the tent
and the slippers.
Cool. Yeah. So I think
That's
I won
cool.
this competition. Can't remember what I won, but anyway, just saying.
I think I've said it on here. I've never seen the Rise of Skywalker. I refuse to watch
You're
it.
not missing anything. You're all good.
Oh, I think you should still watch it.
No, I can't, bro.
Then you can join in,
The Rise of Skywalker is just a film of rage bait. That's all it is.
Thanks for tuning in, Austin.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's awful. It's definitely the worst Star Wars movie.
No.
Well, it's not the worst. Last Jedi is
Take care of
definitely
Steve.
the worst.
Austin sent me a selfie as well, and it's like, yummy.
Nice. Yeah, he hasn't sent me one.
Check your DMs, guys.
Goodbye, Austin.
I don't know. He might have actually. Wait a sec. I haven't checked. No,
Right,
I
my
haven't
dudes.
got
We've
one.
got 2 minutes before I have to get on the Zoom meeting, so I'm gonna dip out.
Oh, here,
Yeah,
thanks
thanks,
for
mate.
joining on.
Maybe 3 months today. I'm going to be really, really excited.
It's class.
The Rise of Whittakee.
The silly videos will return next week.
I mean, you'll be already over there, Cam, but
I'll be half cut by the time we get over there, beer in hand.
Oh, that's what I meant to ask. We've been collecting baseballs from all the stadiums. I say collecting, we've got two. But if you guys are going to a Cubbies game, will you grab me a baseball? We'll obviously talk about it closer to the time because I don't know whether we're going to get a chance to go, but I don't know whether that was something you planned to do in those few days before.
I already got a list of things I need to get people. Like Harley Davidson do poker chips in every single one of their stores all around the world. And my parents collect them, and they haven't got the one from Chicago, so I need to go grab that for them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think they're about $12 for a baseball, and it comes in like a shrink wrap. But I've got the Angels Stadium one, and I got the Yankees. But it'd be nice to get the Chicago one as well. But anyway, that's it from me. Sorry, that's it from me. I'm not going anywhere.
That's it from me. The silly videos will return next week where I'm gliding around the room and shit. Fun. And
Padawan shuffles in, packing the cake.
Exactly.
Just to answer that, General Tron, yes, he is.
Right. Be seeing you.
Yo, take care,
best,
Cam.
lad. Stay safe.
Dubs in the chat. Padawan. Thanks, mate. But right, so yeah, let's just do this then. May as well. This is just a complete side note, but it is connected to the channel, so I'm going to talk about it just briefly.
Let's see.
So, this young lady, some of the people out there might have heard of her, especially obviously particularly in the UK, but she is quite popular around this particular area. I think she lives in the same town as me, but she's massive on like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that kind of thing, just for being one of these, not so much an influencer, but a person who just shows real life, what real people kind of go through. Now, what she does is, which I didn't know this because Kirsty follows her, she popped into my shop, and it's only after her talking to me in the shop that I thought, I recognize you. Where do I recognize you from? And I put two and two together when she started talking about what she was going to do. So basically, she came into the shop. She wanted to spend £300 on goods in the shop. I did share the video to the chat, so the guys on the panel might have seen it if they sat through the video.
I've watched it. Yeah,
most of it's
really
kind
lovely.
of Yeah, most of it's kind of boring. But basically what she does is the money she makes off of her channel. So on TikTok, in January alone, she made like £292 off like ads or whatever else. So so she then spends that money. So she contacts local charities. In this case, it was Mind. So Mind is quite big in the UK. It's a mental health charity. I'm registered to the Mind in because of what I went through last year. And so I'm registered with them in Llanelli, and although I haven't really used their services as often as I would have liked, they were quite supportive of me at a particular time. So I can get connected to that as well. And obviously the Mind charity does great work, as most people know in the UK at least. So so she contacted them, wanted to know what kind of stuff they needed to sort of facilitate the meetings, and they were after like art supplies or whatever. So she basically came into my store, spent like 300 odd quid. I managed to get her a discount, which is harder than it actually looks nowadays. But she spent a bunch of money. Great for us because obviously it was money in the till, but she actually promoted it as well, which I knew she would because that's what she does. But she then took all those items down to the Mind charity, which obviously they could use. So I haven't got the full Instagram video to watch, although I suppose I could try and play it, but I just wanted to show you a few clips of some of the relevant information. Because what she did is she put it in her stories, a picture of, which I'm going to show you in a sec, and linked this YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And literally between 9 p.m. at night when she actually posted the video, I think it was, and 9 a.m. the next morning when I got up and checked, the channel had jumped from 136 to like 172 subscribers. So it was like 36 subscribers, like practically overnight. Obviously that calmed down then because once the link had timed out on the stories, it was no longer relevant. But there have been a few odd people joining since then. So I say 36 subscribers. It wasn't all of that in one hit, but it's just been it was a big jump and then gradual. But of course, obviously, she did make it clear that it was a Lego YouTube channel. So I like to think that it isn't people who've just joined just to feel like they've got to. But I just thought that was quite nice of her to do. She didn't have to actually do that beyond just promoting the shop and what she purchased. But just since then, we've had loads of people coming into the store and talking about it and asking for the products that she talked about. So I've offered for her to pop in on the show just to say hello and, whatever. But no reply from her with that at the moment. But it's also nice to have a fellow Welsh person involved in the sort of social media community who's trying to give something back. And it kind of humbles me a little bit. But so this is the sort of size of their channel. She's called the Tradie Wife. So she's like 162,000 followers, and that's just on Instagram. I haven't got TikTok, but I believe on TikTok it's like even bigger. Obviously to the point where she's earning 300 quid a month just on posting videos. And it's not highly edited type stuff. It's literally her walking around shops, buying stuff, finding bargains, spending the money she makes, and just, of everyday life as a mother with anxiety and that kind of stuff. So it's just, a real, homegrown type thing, which I think is quite interesting. But, that's the stage right. So this is her with the haul, and obviously showing her, at the Mind charity with it all kind of thing. And it's shout out to myself and one of my employees, Helen, who helped her run the store. So this is what she posted in her stories. So this is Martin when I was waiting to discuss gave me a discount, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then she put even in, like, I only mentioned to her briefly that I had a YouTube channel. I think she was talking about something else, and I mentioned, I've got a YouTube channel, blah, 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 talking about that, just in general chat. I said to her briefly what it was called. So she's obviously gone away, done some research and found it. Because when you say Cool Hang Luke Bricks to someone, or Cool Hang Luke, because that's all I called it, actually. I said Cool Hang Luke in the video. Never mentioned it again. She's obviously gone away and looked into it, because from the little I told her, I don't know how she even would have found it. Somehow she's found it. So she's gone right out of her way. Because like I said, if somebody says to me, Cool Hang Luke, in the store, and like 2 hours later she's home and with her phone, I would have already forgotten. But the fact that she put that in there and went out of her way to, put a Lego man or whatever and link the chat, I was really blown away by that. So it's really helped the channel in terms of like giving us some exposure. And yeah, this is a bunch of other stuff that I wanted to show off, but not related to not relating to this at all. But
no, I thought it was really cool. No, because you're on the best
scene
channel
from
too.
Return of the King, isn't it?
What's that?
Nothing.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go away and do some more research on that. But yeah,
you say like searching up the channel and all, and actually getting that in. I think when we first started doing the show, I would type in Cool Hand Luke, but it always like autocorrect to the film, and it's like, where's this channel? Where's this channel at? So no, shout out to her for including all the details. And I think you sent in the message to us in the group chat, like, oh yeah, the channels blew up a bit. And I was like, fuck, fair play, like. So it sounds like it's all.
I was
all
impressed
done
that
for
my
again,
friend Claire tonight found it.
Yeah. If she's still in the chat,
did you tell her?
No, she's got a young baby, so but we've been friends for years. 17 years I tried going out with her, and
no,
we're just good friends, good mates. Lovely, but anyway.
But I'm gonna try and should I try and see if they'll play the video? So I can find Anyway, you guys talk about. Oh, there you go. You guys talk about something else. I don't know if there's anything else you guys wanna.
I've got a weekly pickup, but that's about it. We could kind of go into a bit of a whinge, but.
Yeah. So sorry, just to go back, this post that she posted about our store. 11,000 people watched that video. Jesus.
Holy fuck.
Can you imagine if all of them went across and subbed? Whew. We'd all be able to give up our jobs tomorrow, guys.
Bro.
What a following that is.
Yeah.
Wait a sec.
Fair play. How is everyone in the chat, by the way? We still got 9, so hope you're all doing okay.
Hopefully no one's kipping off.
Hanging on there.
I want to shout out like a little minor thing. Obviously, I'm doing the stop motion at the end of the month and all that. I'm not going to say, but there is an idea already for this month, so it should be out 2-3 weeks time. But I was going to say that this is a very minor thing. If maybe the chat can get involved too, as well as my co-hosts. I want you guys to see if you can get a photo of the funniest looking Lego minifigure head.
Lego what?
Or like minifigure head. Like goofiest looking head, silliest looking head. Because I was going through my collection and like there's some really ugly like Lego heads. I don't know if I can show this.
Well, I've got one a bit like the one that you have, which you kill off, but.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to refrain from showing that because it's like, that's an easy contender, but... No, I was just going through some sets and stuff I've had, some pieces I've had in my collection, and I'm like, yeah, they're... Lego heads used to be really ugly, in like a cool way, you know what I mean? Like, kind of in a stylistic way, but... I'll just throw it out there if people want to send their favourite, funniest, ugly Lego head.
What's going on?
Atlantis.
What's going on with the next? Have you got have we got an idea for the next? Build.
Yeah,
killing the blocks guy.
I can't say, but it was commented last week, and I was like, I'm gonna take that.
Okay, right. Okay,
what my idea was it?
See yours. What was your idea? Because I used your idea as well as George's for February's video.
No, last week I said trampled by a bantha.
Oh, because who was Will showed the bantha?
Yeah,
that was it. I would need one too. That's the problem. I don't have a brick built one yet.
Who was showing one off last week?
As Will.
Will, and then I showed off my little micro one as well.
Yeah,
it's funny because I think I was gonna say like the micro one that Whittakee had is cute, and hey, Cool Hand's like it's fucking ugly or whatever.
I think I've got it. I'm pretty sure I've got it somewhere as well, but I wasn't a big fan of it. Right, I'm gonna play this video.
I think it's alright. It looks what it's supposed to be, so yeah.
I do want to hear Whittakee's whinge as well, so.
Yeah, let me just play this. Most of it's not that relevant, so I'll cut it off when it gets to the point where it's boring. But yeah, I was just really proud of this. Obviously on her behalf, because obviously it all went to a charity. But let's play it. Let's see it.
300 quid in the works. Of course you do. Come on.
You're proper Welsh, this girl.
Pain in your bum today. I'm going to spend about £300 on for the Mine charity in Flashy, so I might hog a few of your baskets. Is that okay? Yeah. Find the fidget toys.
Get to see out my shop as well in this, guys.
Are these fidget toys? These are fidget toys, aren't they?
He just wants everyone to see him on screen.
Oh yeah. It's a self-plug, mate.
Squeezy stuff. Amazing. Right, I'm going to grab a few of these.
They're saying that they could definitely do with some art supplies, and they were talking about getting some sensory fidget toys and stuff with for the young people that use the service.
What the hell that was like?
I don't know. It's funny though.
Oh,
so this is all in your shop, yeah?
Even her,
amazing, right?
Yeah, even her editing is not that great.
You do quite a bit of sensory range then. Yeah, we get a lot of this for our kids.
These look so cool. Oh, don't you just love it? Oh, look
yeah, it's like
these,
kids' art supplies, adult art supplies, stationery, crafts, toys, books.
Yeah, we tend to get a lot of like
jigsaws.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I got someone's husband here. Fiance. Soon to be husband. He was just talking about.
I did laugh when you corrected her on that. I was like, what's wrong with that?
Kirsty, hi Kirsty. See, I do actually do some work.
Put some of these in a nice lot. Glass, fabric, and ceramic.
Class.
I spent 173.
Do break the plates, love.
Now because I feel like that's quite good for mental health.
Trash in the place, like.
Page. Lush. Look at that. Put it down, let it go. Always got to check a sales, girls. What have we got here? Make your own key rings. Oh, they're cute. And fashion. Oh, that's cool. I'm on £244. That's hard for him. I'm like, I don't want to get too much of one thing. Yeah, it's got in a box. Yes.
Oh yeah, adult colouring books.
And she's sorry, you say she lives in the same area as you?
Look at these.
Yeah, she's from the same town as me.
For mindfulness. What's these then?
Alright, chap, we almost know where Martin's from.
Happiness is good for us. Look at these. For affirmations.
I don't mind saying it. I've always said where I'm from.
I like them. I didn't get pen tips.
I'm just glad my store was tidy and well presented that day.
Martin.
Yes.
Got me a discount, 10%. Thank you. £342.50. Martin's going to work his magic. Martin's got a Lego YouTube channel as well. What's it called, Martin? You have to go watch it. It's really cool.
So he's taken it down to 308.85.
Oh, cool. Fab.
So go on the card, yeah?
Yes, and I always forget to put them in pen too. Oh, look at that one! Yeah. Let's go grab everything to give to Reese. Hey, monsieur. Love being on camera.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Cool.
It goes to the charity then. It turns out this guy that she's been calling Reese all the way through, his name's actually Chris. So that's actually quite funny. But it's typical Welsh. But she's a lovely girl, though, in fairness to her. And you think with somebody like that, they might be a little bit up their own backside, if you know what I mean. But she's genuinely like, no, it's all
lovely.
I give back as much as I can. Like, so I don't know how TikTok works in terms of like ad revenue and all the rest of it. But she showed on her phone like how much she'd made just through February. Bear in mind, February's a short month. It was like £292. It's like, Jesus.
Sorry.
So fair play to her. But yeah, anyway, so that was my plug for our own channel, and obviously charity, and my store, and my team, and for Welsh good-hearted people. So anybody who's never been to Wales before, come. Mayo will tell you, wasn't it, Mayo, when you came to Wales? Didn't you have a great time?
Yes, I did.
But anyway, so what? Come on then, let's get on with this whinge. So I'm not the only person moaning.
Come on, Whittakee's whinge.
Well, I'll do my weekly pickup first.
Weekly pickup, yeah.
So...
Oh, did you buy an Asda?
Yes, I did.
38 quid.
And yeah, it doesn't come with the. Well, it was 34.95. So.
Oh, 34. Yeah, 34. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, it doesn't come with a fig, but you know, it's designed to have a figure there. So.
I grabbed it and put it in my basket when we were doing the Asda shop. Like I did put it in there as a joke.
So.
Right, and then I put it back, and I was hoping Kirsty would go, "No, go on, you can put it back."
Obviously, it comes with the stand without the figure, obviously. But that's not why you buy it. You buy it for this, really, right? And yeah, okay. I bought it for $10 because it was in a sale. And don't get me wrong, it was actually quite a nice build, and it looks what it should be. It looks nice, but you can fit it in your hand. Come on, Lego, 45 quid. Come on, what are you playing at? You need to reduce those prices. It's getting really silly. There, there's my win.
If it was down to 30 quid, is it worth it then?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Telling you guys, they do this on purpose. They aggressively do it on purpose. Anybody who buys anything like that, full price, straight off, I basically feed it into them. They know full well what type of price they're going to put it into before they even make the set.
I know, but they don't really reduce it in actual Lego. So if you still want to buy it in Lego, you've got to pay 45 quid for it. So,
but they used to. They used to do that. They used to do it. I remember a time when, since I've been into Lego, when they used to reduce down older sets. Even on May the 1st, they used to reduce down the older sets. The only reason they don't do it now is because they can ship it elsewhere to sell on from other places.
I mean, I hardly ever see Star Wars stuff for sale on the Lego shop. The only time I think they did was when I got my UCS land speeder, which I'm hoping this May they might do a certain UCS with maybe 5 points or something. I'm hoping, which is the X-wing. But I'm still not too sure because there are a few things. Like I said, I'm not. Yes, maybe a bit of a hot take. I'm not a massive fan of what they're releasing this year, especially with certain prices. There's no way am I going to pay for some of that full price.
I agree.
So I thought, well, basically have a look to see also what's retiring. Obviously, I know the Razor Crest's retiring, but I can't afford that until after Chicago. And if I carry on what I'm doing now, I'll be able to buy that within 2 months. But I'll hopefully wait for John Lewis. They've been doing it. They keep dropping it down, don't they, to about £300 something every so often. So I'm hoping for that. But yeah, there's just a quick whinge today. But I did enjoy, but it was didn't take long to make. That's why I can't wait to get like that the bag end or even like I just mentioned the Razor Crest. I want to get back into building a nice girthy set, which takes a bit of a while. No, I don't.
Oh no, I would recommend it.
Now I know that lots of people have said it's a terrible build, but being
I have it. I can take it down. I think it's class.
I just think it would look, yeah. Again, I would have to change a few things in my room, and well, I'm sort of changing a bit of what I'm buying nowadays. Anyway, I'm almost going the opposite to you, Martin. I'm thinking more of just dealing with the bigger UTS sets than so much for the smaller ones.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people saying the similar thing. I think Hive said a similar thing.
But then something had come out that catch my eye, and it's like, oh no, or that might be, even though I said right from the beginning it's nothing to do with the figures, but as you get more and more into this hobby, they might bring out a nice figure that you can't get anywhere else, and it's like, well, yeah, might need to get that.
So they get you.
Well, what I will say is, did you spot? I didn't know about this until somebody else covered it. I believe it was Hive. Oaktown will back me up on this. But did you see that they made a mistake and they put a quote that should have been in the Mon Calamari cruiser in the book for that.
Oh, in the book? No, because I remember seeing that. I'm looking at the thing now.
So they put "It's a trap." It's one of the most famous quotes from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Why they put it in that and not in the Mon Calamari? Whether that was just a genuine mistake or whether they were just
over there. Hold on.
That was kind of a bit random. But speaking
I'm
of
almost
which,
certain that it was a genuine mistake.
Yeah, but they
It
shouldn't
could
be
not
making
have been
mistakes like that.
intentional.
No. I thought it was on the plaque, but it's not on the plaque.
But those two sets didn't even come out the same. Oh no, they did, didn't they? They did come out in January together, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
But Slurpy, we have got one more topic which I forgot, which I sent you a picture of. It's worth throwing up. It's the U-wing. So I got a hot take on this.
I literally just closed it. I'll bring it up in a sec. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, it was only now we're talking about that. I remembered about it.
You know whereabouts it was in the book?
No clue. I haven't seen it myself. At the beginning part, I believe, when they just talk about set itself.
Yeah, no, I can't see it here.
That's the U-wing.
Okay, so my hot take is I like that they're downscaling the sets to some extent. I mean, obviously, I don't think it's worth the price. If you downscale something and you keep the price roughly the same, or don't downscale the price, that's criminal. But in terms of making a set smaller and more, for me personally, from my own, what fits my aesthetic and my space, I'm actually okay with this. And not only that, but I've got the original version. The only thing I'm disappointed about with this is that they didn't do the black and white sort of colorway, which I think would be nicer personally.
I'm waiting to see better pictures and better angles, because that just looks, it's a bad angle. It just makes it look out of shape, out of just.
Yeah.
Doesn't
What's
look
up?
right.
What's up?
I'm the same.
What's up in the corner?
It's one of the.
Oh, that's
sets,
the little bit of Grogu.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. See, I thought that might be a teaser or something.
I just feel like the engines are too big.
It is kind of weird how they've done it. It's different, but
the blue on the engines needs to be a bit more at the front.
I do think that this is a strange ship anyway. It's quite ugly, I think, and it's I don't know. I mean, it's
the sets are selling this, aren't they?
What? Sorry.
The figures are selling this because they put Dedra in there. They put a new
K2SO
Andor in there, and they put K2 in there, which they know everybody wants. That's all. The build was kind of just cobble something together. This is an opportunity to sell those figs and make the money.
You got the old set, Martin?
Yeah.
I haven't got that, and I'm not going to pay. But it's that little figure. He's great. It looks like a little Larry man.
Oh, the monkey type guy.
Yeah.
Who screams as he's shooting out the thing.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
but,
it's hard to really, because it's a bit of a weird angle. How they've sometimes when they do these pictures, they don't do it any justice.
That is.
I agree. I agree, General Tron. The OG is definitely better. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm not one of these people who's looking at downscaled ships and saying that's fundamentally wrong. The price needs to be right, but I actually don't think that scaling down ships is a bad thing, personally.
I don't know why it's angled like that though. It should be front facing instead. It's why is it
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, this has to be from. But then again,
what's it on though? Because
what?
If we've seen the Grogu and Pram, we've seen
some
that.
Sort of promo material or whatever. I think I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just wondering. This looks like something that used to be in the back of the books to show all the sets that came out in that wave or whatever.
And when does this come out? Weird. April or May?
It's April, isn't it? Well, I thought the other April sets have been shown properly. So I just
There's a few other sets that are coming out in June.
I don't think we're having anything out in April, are we?
Not April. Sorry.
May. I think it's May. This comes out in May, I think.
Yeah, no, May.
But no, I'm of the camp. I know there's a lot of people straight hating on this. Yeah, it's small. It's an ugly ship to begin with, but I want to see it from the front. I want to see it angled like it's flying towards me. Like I don't. When I look at this, I'm like, who displays it like this? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit of a weird angle to. It looks really skinny, doesn't it?
And I think it's bigger than I think it's bigger than it looks. I think those figures aren't that far away from it. I think if that set was closer to the figures, do you know what I mean? I think they've just kind of cut and pasted that on there. I don't know.
I just don't get the. I'm actually completely flabbergasted. Like Grogu and I forget the other set. They're like the normal way, and I'm like, I hope it's not like this on the box. I'm assuming this is going to be the back of the box, like what would be shown on it. But I mean, no, I just want to see what it looks like. It definitely doesn't do it justice at all. Everyone's shitting on the engines. I don't really know. What do you think?
Oh, definitely not.
Too big, too small, or?
I'm definitely not buying this for day one. Don't get me wrong, but I will be purchasing it because I think it's nice. And I don't need K2. I'm not that bothered about figures, as you know. But I do like the ship as a whole. It is one of my favourite versions of the ship, and I just think that even though I've got the original, I'm more likely to display that because it will fit on my display. Whereas the big one is just, it's just massive, and it's just kind of, I ain't got that kind of display, unfortunately, and I just got to live to my means. I'm not like Muttley, who's able to kind of cover his entire floor in Republic or 18 of his Republic. No, his Republic gunships.
I'm just
like 16
better photos is better, and when it comes out, see what it's. Sometimes when you see it in hand, it can be a lot better than what it is.
Yeah.
Photos. So. Right. Well, on that note, lads, I'm actually going to call it a night.
Well, what do you think as we close it out?
Covered everything anyway.
I'm struggling, mate. Honestly, I got to get
to work tomorrow. After, like I said, after being off for 4 weeks. So.
I hope it goes all right. Okay, mate.
Yeah, me.
The one bad thing about this set is Deidre's legs are printed on black, which is going to look horrible.
Yeah,
And the
it will look awful.
Yeah, the price too.
And how much is it going to be then?
£400 million. I don't know.
I think I read somewhere it was like 50 or 60 pounds. I think I was seeing. So what's that? Like 69.99 for you? But
probably.
Right. So look, guys. In the interest of trying to close it off, who do we want on as a guest next week? Any preferences? Chat? Anybody out there want to be on or know someone who we should have on and we haven't?
And no, we can't get Jiang on. No, we can't get Forest Fire on.
I don't think anybody's out of the question. Nobody said no so far, but I've got a little bit of time to do
taken the wrong way, but I'd like us to try and get a female.
You mentioned Jen. Yeah, Jen's builds for potential.
Yeah,
she would be free.
Yeah, definitely. But we need to do somebody like her because she's not. I mean, with all due respect, with Mayo even, he's not kind of ingratiated in this kind of group as much in terms of he's not a huge sort of Star Wars fan, so he kind of, probably why he fell asleep or fell back asleep or glazed over. But with somebody like her, it's even more so because she doesn't know us. She doesn't know the. So I'm not to say that I don't want her to come on. Obviously, I'd love her to come on, and that's still the case. But you just need to make sure that we're not going to have her just after she's talked about whatever she wants to talk about. She's just going to be like, "What the hell's going on?" I hate the idea of people feeling ostracized on the chat.
This?
So this is Jen, as in Jen Builds on Instagram.
Oh right, okay.
She did a stream on Instagram. She was one of the 3 people who did a stream on Instagram for the 48 hour. She builds the larger sets.
Yeah.
She's relatively new to like brick set. She likes alternate builds. She's not brick set, sorry. She's relatively new to Bricklink. She's exploring that at the moment. Yeah. She's just started up a YouTube channel relatively recently. And at the moment, I think she's just moving her content across as opposed to making anything new.
She's on Brick Dynasty a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah, that's right. And I know she buys the Funhole sets. She's an avid believer in Funhole, so she's not scared of.
That's a subject I'd like to bring up one week.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying. So we need to be able to do something that she can connect with, because what I want the guests to be able to do is come on, talk about what they want to talk about, and have it be interesting for the regular people who watch. But then connect to whatever else we talk about, you know?
Yeah, and that's the problem. And that's the problem that's the problem I used to have with guests.
It's keeping them interested, and obviously keeping the chat interested in them, if that makes sense. Because the last thing I want to do is set anybody up here to look worse than
because I'm not one to talk about stuff that you guys talk about all the time.
No, exactly. But at the same time, ideally I'd want I got a list of favorites, right? And so far I'm playing through all my list of favorites, as in, and that's kind of almost never ended. But I'm playing through people who I know I can connect with, I can conversate with, or have done to some extent, or in other streams or whatever. So it's kind of been quite easy for me to bridge that gap. We're going to have to start eventually going down that territory of I haven't actually had a conversation with this person outside of being in their chat. So we're going to have to start going down that avenue at some point, going out of our comfort zone. But again, I don't want somebody here completely bewildered by what the hell's going on. So I don't know. He left of his own accord, so it wasn't me.
Right.
But
so I'd say good night anyway. So but thanks for the guests. Thank you, Mayo, for turning up. Thank you for all the chat as well. Nice to see everyone here.
And anywhere else on social media, I'm happy to answer questions.
Cool. Right. Well, I'm off. Obviously, you free carry on, but I will see you next week.
All the
take
best,
care.
Warren. You stay safe. Take care.
Thanks, man. Cheers, mate.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. But yeah, obviously we're going to close it out shortly as well. But I just wanted to see if you guys any ideas about what in the chat. General Tron, are you? Do you if you want to be on the show, mate? I know you're talking here about getting involved in us talking to somebody else, but I don't know if you're a kind of a face who wants to be involved. But yeah, and I'm not trying to say that out of desperation. We've got a list. I've got a list. It's probably about 20 names on it at this point, and some of them have already said yes. Just let me know when. Others I haven't asked, but I know they will say yes, and others might go like that. But it's not that we're short. But I've got a little bit of time this week, which I don't normally have, where I can prep something and be a bit more organized. So this might be the chance to, have somebody on where I can do a bit of research and be ready for them. I just don't know where to go, what direction to go with it. So
I just hope that you can use me as a case study.
I think with you, Mayo, it's more like I wanted you on here because obviously, I've connected with you in other chats and stuff, and obviously on your own streams or whatever, but also because you're like one of the, it's hard to explain. Everybody knows who you are in the community, but I just wanted you to get a chance to be in a different environment than what you're used to, so people can sort of see you out of your comfort zone, because that's not fair to say, but to see you like in an unusual environment. And also I wanted to talk about Bricktastic, and I thought no one better to talk about it than yourself.
Which we did, and I hope that anyone got some answers out of that.
100%. I'm definitely going to put it. It's really. The other thing we didn't mention is it's quite a cheap one as well. Tickets were like 17 quid, which I think is really good.
And it's also because if you're an exhibitor, because it's a charity event, you don't have to pay for tickets, and to be an exhibitor is free.
Yeah, that's good. That's worth considering. I could actually get something to display there relatively easily as well, because I do have family who live nearby. So the plan was to stay with them, but it turned out when I was originally going to go, but it turned out that I wouldn't get to see them at all. I didn't want to use their house as a dot house, so called it off. But Mayo works as a case study, encyclopedia, doorstop, and a friend.
I do also view myself as kind of a mercenary for some things.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Sniping out. What do you call them? When you sniped out those thingies in the chat, what are they called? Those people who raided the stream.
Stream raiders. There are people pretending to be
trolls. Sniped the trolls. We played that video back.
Yeah, that's because I know how to spot a troll a mile away, and bots too.
Oaktown, we're about to end the stream. If you want to jump on and plug anything,
it's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth it. Oaktown.
Yeah, but I really want to hear Oaktown say YouTube.
Yeah,
the way he says it is amazing. But no, look, if you want.
Yeah, and actually, in the meantime, my today's upload has been premiered.
So guys, go and check that out after this. But Mayo, do you want to just do a quick plug of yourself before we go?
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube as Mayo Hosko. On Instagram, I'm at real_ and Mayo Hosko. I have a Minecraft server for people who pledge to me on Patreon, and there's a whole bunch of other perks you can get by pledging to me on Patreon if you want to invest in the Mayo Hosko media. I also have my Facebook fan club, a Discord server. I recently got a subreddit, and I have plenty of different other links that are in the descriptions of my videos and in the About section of my YouTube homepage.
Okay, Jesus.
And also, for those who don't know, I try to do 2 videos a week since I cut back from live streams, every Sunday and Wednesday, which for me is every Monday and Thursday. Normally try to do it at 5 p.m. Eastern in the US, because YouTube says it's best to allow 3 hours for them to program your videos into their algorithm, and 8 p.m. Eastern, that's when prime time is, when there's a lot of eyeballs on YouTube.
See, that's the kind of tips and stuff that we need, or that I need, I guess, if I'm ever going to try and do something more than just the live streams, because I keep saying I'm going to do it.
Yeah, compared to stuff that I don't think about every day, which is why I fell asleep.
The thing is that like I always upload my shorts like when it's very late for us, because I'm like, right, the Yanks are going to be, they'll be on their phones. I'll wake up to a couple of tasty views, like. But no, I'm not working on much at the minute. I've got this month's stop motion to do, a bigger project as well. Cool Hand and Whittakee. Only know if you know, you know. So, yeah, no, I can't. I wish I could do a video or 2 a week on YouTube, but it's just too time consuming, and it's too much.
And I'll be honest, once Padawan started going about the intricacies of Lord of the Rings, I was like, yeah, I need sleep.
Yeah. As it happens, I think he felt the same a little bit about the Bricktastic talk, even though at one point he was. So it just goes to show different strokes for different folks. But this is why we've got an illustrious panel.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have so many people who are on a panel. Is you're going to get a lot of people who just frankly don't give a damn about what someone's talking about.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a sweet spot. We've had times where we've had 6, a maximum amount of people, and it's worked like clockwork. And we've had times where there's been, 2 or 3 of us, and it hasn't worked, or we've had 6 and it's been a bit of a shambles. So it's probably a sweet spot which we haven't actually found, and obviously it varies depending on the topics. But no, generally I'm quite happy with where things are going, and obviously our chat, certainly for the first kind of 2 hours, looking at the analytics, tends to be really engaged, really busy, which is great. This is why I wanted to try and keep it down to less than 3 hours, or try and tune it down to 2, because after those first 2 hours, we need to start trimming her off and being like a bit more cutthroat about when we finish, So,
and before anyone gets the wrong idea, I don't have anything against Padawan. I just have things against stuff like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, where I just don't care.
Yeah, but we like I said, it's not all, what we try to do is vary it up a little bit, because if we did a show on Star Wars every single week, it'd get old and boring really quick. So we do try to pepper it. But I think, again, there's a sweet spot with that as well, where we can talk about what everyone loves and then pepper in a little bit of difference. And that's why I've tried this week. I've probably overdone it maybe this week with talking about other things not related to Lego or Star Wars. Try to cram them all in. Maybe I could have done maybe 1 or 2 of those a week. But it's only because I was scrolling through my phone and I just found a load of things and I was thinking, I could talk about that in the show. I could talk about this in the show. So, which brings me to one more thing, which I did say I was going to do. I know she won't be watching because she'll be in bed, but I did tell my daughter I was going to share this picture because I thought it was really good. She showed me, it was her first time actually showing me work, high school work that she's completed. And she was really proud of it. So I was like, I can't not show this. So she did this in school, and it's about experimenting with different types of paint and different types of shading and different types of coloring. So shout out to Mayo, my daughter, for this piece of school project work.
Hello.
Hi, mate.
Wow.
You see that, guys?
Is that your daughter's art?
Yeah, it's Maya's.
That looks cool.
So I thought it was pretty good. And when you can't really see it in this picture, I guess, but when you look at it up close, there's like different ways that she's shaded, different types of paints, paint pens, whatever. So when she showed me this, I was like, wow, fair play.
And that design is bound to be an overpriced Nike shoe before you know it. And
yeah, it's going to be a Saturday special release in a couple of weeks' time.
But yeah, so shout out to Maya. Fair play. She's doing well in school, so crack on. But that's it from me, guys. Oaktown,
but actually, I do just want to finish off by saying one thing: is that this isn't the first time I've been asked to be a guest onto a stream like this, and I go and watch I go back and watch the other stream I'm talking about. I'm not going to name drop them, but I see what they do. And when they get guests on, sometimes their guests get bored out of their minds because the hosts talk about stuff that they don't care about. And so I'm honestly not surprised that happened when you guys started discussing the Shire. Because even though there are elements about the Shire I like, there's only so much I can say about it.
But that's the thing, like, with Lego, like, you're not going to like everything, and as well, like, I'm sure there's, when I talk about the stop motions, there's some people that are like, right, this is Matthew's drum solo, we'll just leave, go for a bathroom break, and then we'll come back and oh, he's still going. Fuck.
I'm the same with most Lego. Yeah. Like, I don't like the Formula One sets. I think they suck. Pretty much everything.
Which I agree.
So I guess you feel about Formula One how I feel about the Lord of the Rings.
The difference is I can purposely not put Formula One in the show because I get the last say.
I think Cool Hand knows this. I like talking about any Lego. Like, I just do, like, to me, Lego's Lego, like you know, whatever. It's I mean, Lego Mario is my biggest enemy. and it's my new enemy. Fuck
and
Blockhead.
Mario game.
Oh, rip.
It is for you, not for us yet. But
yeah, which is why you guys have got a good thing going on here within your inner circle, because you're like-minded Lego collectors.
So Mayo, do you prefer to? Yeah, what were you gonna say, Kohan?
No, I was just gonna say, do your plug. But if you've got a question, mate, go for it.
Oh yeah, I'll do the soft plug right now. But let me ask a question for Mayo. So Mayo, do you prefer the Star Wars talk over the Lord of the Rings talk?
I think I do, just because I've grown up with more of my friends talking about it. I still can't tolerate when they get into the intricacies, but but on the off chance if anyone ever asks me about Lord of the Rings, I just want a Master Builder series Lake Town.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah, so my self plug is, I'm Oaktown Bricks. Check me out on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram.
There it is, boys.
I love it when it
and
says
my username is Oaktown Bricks on all of those platforms.
Say it again. Say YouTube again. One more time.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Because that's kind of like when Greg on London Calling says Lego.
Yeah. Apparently, I say beer weird. Beer. That sounds normal to me, but
like a beer or a bear?
Beer.
We'll never know.
Like a grizzly bear.
Ask for a Guinness beer.
But yeah, Generaltron, you're always welcome. You're always welcome here, mate. It's nice to have you in the chat. But
thanks for it. It was really good.
Yeah, so that's it for me, guys. Let's say goodnight and let's play us out. Can we throw up that? Can we fill the screen with the banner as we say goodbye? Are we able to do that?
God. Yeah, let me just see if I can get it from the folder one more time.
I just want to test it out, see if it works. It's just going to be a cut though, isn't it? Cut down version of it.
The banner. I had it saved somewhere.
I'll do the music. You do that. If you're watching this on replay, don't forget to sub. Don't forget to hit the like. And if you haven't done that and you're watching live, then what the hell have you been doing?
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Where is this banner at? Where did
I sent it to you on WhatsApp. I don't know what you did after that.
Oh, right. Sorry, there it is. It was in the downloads. I thought I had it in a separate folder. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. I have no plugs other than thanks. Shout out to Mugsy Lad as usual for commenting, and if anyone's still watching, Nimble Saucepans Bluestone episode 6 tomorrow.
Awesome.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Or
thanks, guys.
All the best, gang.
We about to blast off like we dropping the nuke. To these beats like you a Sir Duke. A Lego track shoulder which we rock 'em all. Talking shit, spitballing and busting your balls. We all love Star Wars, the uniting cause. But as long